Yo, everyone, welcome to the What the Fuck Is This podcast, where we talk about whatever the fuck we want. We don't have no boundaries. Today, my very first honorable guest, Jacob Hess. Okay?
Thank you.
The man, the myth. You're definitely a legend. Okay? If last night showed us anything, any one of my friends who are watching this who know who Jake is, knows, and they may or may not have seen my Snapchat story last night. This man drank almost an entire liter of some of the nicest vodka that I've ever had in my life, if not the nicest vodka I've ever had. And he just chugged through it like a champ, and we were just dying laughing, watching old throwback YouTube videos the whole damn night.
Hey man, I mean, what can I say? I do love me some good vodka Sprites pretty much any day.
Dude, I think it was mostly just vodka. Hold on. Let me adjust this microphone.
That stuff was honestly absolutely incredible. It's the best shit I've ever drank.
There we go.
I'm drinking
Okay.
so much of it, I don't even realize how much is in my system because it's just so smooth, dude. It just glides
Dude.
right down.
So we had a party here, like, I don't know how long ago, not too long ago, and you see that bottle right over there of the Yushklev?
Yeah.
So I cracked that bottle at the beginning of the night, and I'll say everyone else drank the first half. The second half of the bottle, I sat there and I started drinking it as we were playing Pong, okay, and they started saying chug. I said, okay, I'm not a pussy, I'll do it. Chugged the whole half bottle. Swear to you, Jacob, I'd not get drunk till 3 hours later, and that was from shotgunning White Claw after White Claw after White Claw.
Of course.
You know the three for three I do.
Yep.
The White Claw 3 minutes. That shit's hard. Did it in 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
No shit.
It's pretty good. It's a good run.
It's a delayed fuse, man. That's what I call it. When you're drinking good vodka, it's like the.
We're having some air here. I don't know what's going on. Skip frames detected. Okay. Well, it is what it is.
We can edit that out.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, guys. So this is the first run of the podcast, by the way. We've run a couple podcasts before, but we wanted to go for some way more chill vibes. As you guys can tell, we're pretty fucking chill. And we don't really have any topics there that to talk about necessarily for every single podcast. It's just me and my boys talking shit. Literally. Literally what it's all we're here to do.
Guess
So-
number one here, man. We're just having a good time on this fine Sunday afternoon.
So before we hop into the big shit, I'm gonna crack a bottle. We got Atla Pinot Grigio. Right? Let me get my own glass here.
Couldn't have it any other way. It is Father's Day,
Yep.
by the way.
So we're celebrating the unknown fathers out there.
So,
Here, I'll slide this over to you.
to all of you out there who don't know who your daddy is, it is his special day, whether you know who he is or not.
Shit, hold on. Let's slide this over to you. Alrighty. So, everyone, enjoy a fucking drink with us real quick, I'll cheers you from here. I'll cheers the mic. How about that?
Cheers, brother. Cheers. It's good to be back. Good to be back in town.
Let's screw that cap on from here. Real quick. Ooh,
Can't have a spill.
hold up.
That's the worst, man, when you spill a bottle or something like that. Just all that
Dude,
precious liquid
hold up.
goes.
You just brought up some serious shit.
That is one of the worst feelings ever a man could have.
Upstairs next to my desk. I'll bring you up there later and tell me if you can find the spot.
Mm-hmm.
So my phone, has the pop socket. I had the spinny pop socket on the back of it. It's like a fidget spinner.
Mm-hmm.
My pop socket is on the back of my phone. I had set it down on the desk and I went to go walk away. It spun and knocked over the bottle. Only had a little bit of wine left in it. Knocked over the fucking bottle of wine. Or no, it knocked over the. I grabbed the bottle and it hit my phone and my phone started spinning and my phone spinning knocked over my glass that had a little bit left in it. Red wine
No.
on the fucking carpet, dude.
On the white
It was when
carpet
it was
upstairs?
when I had my mom's dog. So I had her carpet cleaner, the steam cleaner.
Yeah.
So I steam cleaned that shit instantly, and it all went away. There's not even a stain left. And they're just to reference to everyone here. These are like tan. The carpet's like a tan, like a cream color. It's like a
Dude, I'd say
slightly
it's
tan
almost
cream.
Like, honestly, like white.
It's
Like,
almost white. Yeah, it's
pretty damn
it's
close.
slightly cream.
as close
but
as
no
you could
stain.
possibly get.
No stain left over. I was in shock.
You're lucky. You're really,
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Really lucky, dude. That's one of the worst situations ever.
I was scared, man.
Red wine, white carpet, recipe for disaster. Literally.
Yep. Then that's what I get for being drunk. I get wine drunk that night. It was great.
That's what happens, dude.
But-
Hey, we're not all perfect out here. We like to party and have a good time,
Listen, that is
obviously.
perfection, man.
That's just lucky, but sometimes you just got to kick it up a notch and you take it to that next level and shit hits the fan. But
Last night.
And the result at the end of the day, as long as you wake up the next morning and you're alive and you don't have a hangover, I mean, honestly, dude.
You don't have a hangover last night? I'm surprised.
I don't get hangovers.
We want to watch Free Solo last night, the documentary on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that
Sponsor us, motherfuckers.
Dude,
Anyway.
This guy's a maniac.
Dude, this man was like, the whole movie, he started getting drunk. He's like, yo, then you're gonna climb the fucking mountain already, you pussy.
Dude, I was. It was almost a 2-hour movie.
And he didn't climb for the last like 20 minutes of the movie. And I get it. Like I felt like they should have spent more time on the actual climb itself. But like thinking back on it, they probably didn't get to get that much footage because they were a little bit like, I mean, they talked about it the whole time. They were a little bit scared to do it.
Plenty of footage, dude. But yeah, I get that. Just the fear factor and everything else going on. But still, that's why I was getting pissed off, man. A 2-hour fucking movie. I just
remember what the things you were saying last night, dude.
Dude, like, climb the motherfucking rock. That's why we're all watching.
Dude, you had me cracking up the shit you were saying last night. But I guess we should introduce the reason why I have pushed off this podcast for a multitude of reasons. But the only good reason I had to push off the podcast to starting it today was because I wanted you to be my first guest because of the amount of shit that we had to talk about, because of the revolution like that your life has went through in the last 2.5 months. So I'll introduce the topic of it, I guess. But you decided that you're gonna get a van, and then you ditched the van, and you just went on a road trip, and you took a SUV, right? Or...
Yeah, my mom's Chevy Traverse.
Shit!
Mom car. Call her Tina. That was my baby.
And this man spent like I think you said just over 2 months.
Just slightly over 2 months living out of a car.
And you road tripped across the U.S.
Yes.
All right, so that's what we're going to dive into. My very first question. Actually, we'll say that one. So give us the rundown. The overall rundown of the trip, like the routes you stopped, and then we'll come back through and we'll hit each place.
Just a quick, brief overview. All right, so...
We live in Pennsylvania, by the way. That's where kind of starts.
We started in Bel Air, Maryland, and then we drove to Ohio from there. Then we drove up to Michigan to visit one of our old friends from school. Then we drove from Michigan all the way down through Indiana into Chicago. Then drove across the whole Midwest through Iowa, through Nebraska to Colorado. After Colorado, we went up into Wyoming. Then trying to remember all my geography, dude.
I was literally about to ask you. This may have honed in your geography skills, because this seems like I'm shocked.
Yeah, no, we went into Utah. Okay, yeah, so we got to Colorado, then we went down into Utah first. Then after that, we crept up into Wyoming, then to Montana, then through Idaho, into Washington State, went all the way to Seattle, like top corner of the country.
Yeah.
Then started trickling down, went down into Oregon, went down to California, all the way to Los Angeles. Then drove from Los Angeles through Arizona, through New Mexico, through Texas, up into Oklahoma, up into Missouri, then back into Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and crossed all of Pennsylvania to get back home to where I am now. So it's a big old loop with a bunch of zigzags in between.
And you just got back from a trip 2 weeks ago, right? Not last weekend.
Even a week. I have not even been home a week yet.
Oh, yeah, you got back last weekend. And
yeah.
I was trying to talk you to come up for the podcast fresh. And you were like, dude, I just drove for fucking 30 hours straight. I ain't doing that shit, which I don't blame you.
I did, dude.
What was the longest that you did drive, like the 2 longest sessions you did driving straight?
Well, probably 12. It was funny. I mean, me and my buddy, we decided that we didn't want to do more than like 5 hours in the car for a day. We ended up doing like basically 7 hours every time we drove from one place to the next. Then after that,
what'd you do when you were when you were driving for these long hours? Like, did you ever like just sit on the phone and chat with people for hours, or is it podcasts, music?
No, not too much. Just I don't know. I've never been like a needy guy, like an attention or something like that. I always like to be entertained for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And don't really like to be alone, which was kind of funny. I did this.
Yeah, you did this road trip, yeah.
You know, the irony behind that. But no, I didn't really call too much people. Because then the fact with that was I would talk to so many different people along my journey, so then I would forget who I talked to, like when it was and what I told them, and try to like remember like who like
Yeah.
exactly I said
Okay.
what to what, instead of like always having to backtrack and do refreshing, which is just like I hate that shit, dude. I don't like moving backwards at all. I just try to like keep myself going forward in some sort of direction, whether it's mentally or physically or whatever that is. But um, back to the length of time though. The longest that I did in one session, well, it was 12 hours at first, and then when I was coming home, there was this total point where I was just like, I was driving and looking at my maps. I was just going and going and going, covering a lot of ground, but it didn't look like I was covering any ground on the maps. Just the time frame was not moving at all. So I was like, fuck this. I'm driving until I get home. I'm not stopping anymore unless it's for gas or food or to take a shit, which we can get into later.
Oh, great.
So I drove about just over 28 hours straight to get home, and that was from Amarillo, Texas. So I drove from there
Holy fuck.
all through the rest of the day, all through the rest of the night, into about the middle of the afternoon that third day, when I finally like broke lines into the state of Pennsylvania.
Damn.
And
That is fucking wild, dude.
that
That's
was
a long time
crazy.
driving. You never got tired and like,
Dude, I drank 4 Monster Energies. So
still 4 and 20 hours. I've been drinking like
Yeah.
28 in 28 hours.
So thank you, Monster, by the way. Sponsor us someday. Bless your hearts. You guys do make a damn good energy drink. You really do. The green guy.
Whew, dude. Dude, sometimes, you know, like, I'm sure you know, like, you never get tired like that, dude. I get tired.
Mhm.
I've made some mistakes before driving. I feel like a lot of us have, where, you know, turn off on us. I should have gotten the wireless mouse, but yeah, dude. Like, I've fallen asleep. Like, you get real tired and you just, you know, you get real scared. Like something judders you and wakes you up. You fall asleep for just a second. That wasn't happening to you very
No,
much.
mm-mm.
Wow.
I do not need that much sleep for my body, surprisingly.
Me either. But it's
Don't.
it's when I have a lack of things going on. When like if my mind gets bored,
Mhm.
I'll start dozing. My mind needs to stay entertained. I don't need much sleep either. Like I sleep like between 6 and 8. If I sleep more than 8 hours, I get that really tired feeling, and you know, where you
Weird,
just sleep the whole day.
too much, like, because you
You
slept.
know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, you're still tired, even though they recommend 8 hours is like the
Everyone's different.
amount of rest.
Everyone's
you know,
different, man.
Your typical, whatever that could be, like, human beings should have. But some people can function off of less, which is clearly us, or
Dude, like
more.
if I go 6.5 hours, then that's my perfect time zone, 6.5. That's usually when I get my first like natural wake up. I'm like, fuck. Like even like before I was like alarm clock trained to wake up at like 7 o'clock, 7:30.
Mm.
Like 6.5 hours is like my bread and butter. Like I feel great if I wake up when I first naturally wake up. If I start snoozing again, I can fuck up my whole day.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I get in and out of that habit every now and then. It depends. When I start working out again, I'm instantly like I work out at night, or like when I get home from work, I go to work out at the gym. I've been pumping, and
Physical fitness.
dude, it's just been instantly. The second that I wake up the first time, which is like 30 minutes or 40 minutes before my alarm, I'm just up. I'm just like fuck it, I'm getting up now, you know, and that's what I've been getting in the habit of when I just started to get back into working out again, because I was spot on and off just doing my runs, but it's really like pumping and doing my runs. Like I can't just do like 2 miles a day. I got to do my 2 miles a day plus I got to hit the gym.
Yeah, see, dude, like, I love, like, fitness, like, the whole aspect behind that. I'm not a big runner, though. I just don't.
You gotta slowly get into it. I've been taking Lydia running around here.
I just don't
She's
like
been killing it, dude.
I'd rather
killing
just lift some weights, and then
I'm
everyone
down.
says, "Oh, don't skip your cardio or whatever." Like,
Damn, if you didn't have to go, I'd say let's go hit the gym after this.
that's
But
definitely true. Now, I am in somewhat of a time schedule today with being Father's Day, so shout out to you, Dad. Love
you gotta
you.
go see your son or what?
We'll see, man. Someday. I think I would be a good dad. I mean, you can only prepare for it so much, but yeah, I'd be a good father. Anybody can be a dad,
Dude, I've been getting so I don't know how much you know about my real dad and stuff like that.
Not too much. I try not to bring it up, but obviously we're here on the podcast.
Yeah, no,
First episode, so we're
I'm
saying
here for it, man.
some raw material here, so let's bring it out. So just I don't know too much. I know you have your stepdad, well, your mom, and then what was his name again?
Scott,
I
my
wanna say
stepdad.
Sean all the time for some reason.
It don't matter. No one cares about his
But
name.
I know it started with an S, but yeah, just
I just want to apologize.
I questioned it. But
We won't know until after we're done recording this if you guys can hear the AC unit next to us running. If you can, the next time we're gonna go ahead and crank the AC off. That way,
this house is haunted.
that way it doesn't or when we go to if we get to take a piss break at any point, I'll just go slap it off. That because I mean it stays cool down here the entire time.
Yeah.
We're actually in the basement. We got this cool little setup down here.
This is the vibe.
This is the vibe for real. This is the podcast vibe. But anyway, getting back to my point. So you saying you make a good dad? I've been thinking about that a lot recently.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I'm anywhere close to being a dad or father, but so when I started my like major dating life, when I started dating Jill, you remember Jill?
Oh yeah.
We did it for quite a few,
Yes,
quite a
you guys
fucking
were
few
together
years.
For a while.
Yeah, it was like it was about 4 years, 4.5, something like that.
Yeah.
If you depending on who you asked, but it was at that long period of time brought a lot of issues that I didn't realize that stemmed from not having a father. Like I didn't have a dad in my life. I didn't really have much of a father figure ever. Closest thing I had to that was like a family friend who used to come over all the time, acted like a dad when he was around, but he's not around very often. So I mean, not really a big father figure there, or at least a good one. And that wasn't his role. He was a family friend.
Yeah.
That was not his role. My dad disappeared he disappeared out of my life when I was in 2nd grade.
He just left like.
Yeah, to get into that more, basically parents got divorced. Right after they were gonna get divorced when I was like a little bit after I was born, because my dad was kind of a shitty person, stole from family, just really bad set of morals, or at least didn't follow his set of morals very, very closely. And I had never heard these stories. My mom never said a single bad word about this man. I found out all this shit by deep digging myself.
Yeah.
My mom never talked a single, which is weird, you know, when parents get divorced, stuff like that, and even after they split years later, you hear bad things. And my mom would not speak about my real dad at all. Rarely. I found a lot of this out through pictures, through other family members who had told me stuff about it. But he had stolen from family, stolen from me, like money that they'd set aside for me for college when I grew up.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, had really and it was leading to a divorce.
Yeah.
My mom got pregnant with my little brother.
Mm-hmm.
They end up talking things out to stay together longer for the baby.
Yeah. For
little brother's born.
Little Cage at the time.
Yep. And they fucked up. Split. Then we went on my mom wanted to go back to college, finish school because she had to drop out of college when she had me. So she went back to school to finish, and when she did that, we went to live with my grandparents, her parents. So we lived with them for 2 years. During that 2-year period of time, my mom would get us one weekend. She'd come down and see us and spend some time with us for that weekend. The next weekend, my dad would come down and see us. And it was a way that they didn't have to interact with each other either. It was nice.
Usually how it goes with divorced families. You know, you get a weekend with mom and a weekend with dad, and kind of bounce around.
And it was pretty mutual because we were living with my grandparents at the time, so it was pretty mutual between them. My mom did have custody. She still did until I turned 18.
This wire's fucking with me, man. Just keep going. I'm trying to pay attention here, but I feel like I'm looking through this blue wire at the same time. I'm trying to give my attention to Nate. But anyways, keep on going here.
Yeah, so it was like that for probably about a year, maybe 2, maybe a year and a half. And then eventually he started to bail every couple weeks.
Yeah.
And it started going more and more, and then what happened was one weekend he took us and he didn't come back with us. He kidnapped us. And he kidnapped me and my little brother. He took us to Ohio, to his
what the fuck?
To his brother's house. His brother's name is Ben. He took us to his brother's house up in Ohio. And my mom called the cops. Cops
We're amongst in Ohio.
eventually tracked him. I don't know where. I was so little. I was first grade, 2nd grade.
Yeah.
So then after that, my mom, some weird legal stuff happened. I'm still not sure to this day what happened. If it was a restraining order or what it was. I believe it was, though. I have no idea. And after that, it was, I stopped getting birthday calls, stopped getting birthday letters.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I can't help but chuckle, dude. He fucking kidnapped you.
Yeah, my father, who left my life, kidnapped me.
Just stole you.
But
Like,
the same guy
dude, what the fuck?
it blows my mind though, because the same guy who would commit a crime to get us custody of us,
Yeah.
then ditched us for the rest of our lives.
Yeah,
Like what? It doesn't make sense to me, and I'm so emotionally detached from this now. The only sense in which I'm emotionally attached to it still is the way that I've noticed, and other people have noticed, me not having a father figure has affected me and my personality and my life and the way I've turned out. And these are things that I didn't notice until I started getting in my serious dating life. And I met Jill's dad, and he made a comment to her in private between the two of them that she then forwarded onto me, about how I didn't know to shake hands. And and he was like, I think it's because he didn't have a dad. And like, that feels so shitty to hear.
First impressions are a big thing.
Yeah, and I was like, so your dad thinks I'm a pussy, I'm a bitch, you know, like he thinks I'm feminine,
Not
and
man enough. Like,
yeah,
whatever.
and I mean, like, that effect is directly because of my father. I didn't have a father figure. You know, the closest thing I had was a family friend. My grandfather was kind of close to it, but he was also a drunk.
Yeah.
He got 2 DUIs. He lost his license for 8 years.
Wow.
He made one of our dogs because he crashed when he had the dog in the car. He fucked up the dog psychologically, and it could not be around people anymore, and they had to put down the dog because of it, because it just kept attacking everyone. And it killed the puppy, and it like, you know, it went off the rocker because of that accident. And thankfully, he hasn't gone back. He's really controlled himself. And he still drinks, and it's kind of crazy that he, you know, how he does everything.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, it's wild. Like,
It's a
just
wild
no
ride,
father
dude.
figure affected me, and I've been thinking about that a lot, and I think that's why I enjoy a lot of the things that I do. Like, why I enjoy a lot of, like, the so-called masculine or manly things that I do. Like, I love cooking and grilling. You've eaten my grilling, right? I'm
Stereotypes, being a dad, chilling and grilling.
Exactly, dude. Like cracking a beer while grilling, and dude, you weren't there for the Memorial Day barbecue because you were on your beautiful trip. But dude, my Memorial Day barbecue, I made the best. This was like the most wholesome, happy, like approval moment, like adult approval moment of my entire life. I'm standing there grilling, and I opened up the ribs, and dude, they were the best ribs I've ever eaten.
Big meat guy, eh?
I rip a couple off. I give one to Jory's dad. I give one to Jory's uncle. Have you met his uncle? Uncle's a great dude.
Dude, he is a big family as well. I try to remember like all that, and
He got like salt, pepper. He looks like he's Polish.
I'd probably remember him right away. It's just been so long.
Such a cool dude. So I'm sitting there. I give all the dads a wing. All the bunch of dads that are there. I give them all some ribs, and they all eat them right there in front of me. They all gave me they all said, "We approve. You got the dad grill master badge."
Yeah, that's great, man.
And it was the best feeling ever to know.
Yeah, you just
like,
feel good.
I didn't need a fucking dad. I taught myself this shit. Nobody taught me how to grill. I swear, no one ever sat me there and was like, "You got to do this." And I learned all myself through trial and error. You know how many fucking hockey pucks I made? You know how many fucking hockey pucks I made, man, on my way here? Did all myself. I didn't need no one else.
That's the best way to live. You got to live through experience. That's how you learn. That's how you grow and learn. A lot of people are self-taught, you know?
It hit me more too when I got down to it, and a lot of times even in high school, back in high school, people used to say, I was friends with basically every girl in our class.
Yeah.
Everyone knew me as like the nice guy, always waved, smiled everywhere. I was, you know, always smiling, always waving at everyone, always saying hi, always creating just like random ass conversation, just bullshit with everyone, you know, just talking to everyone and being super friendly and stuff like that. And for that, I got labeled as more of a feminine guy. Some people even thought I was gay, and I don't know why, because I really don't think I give off the gay vibes. But some people, just because of I was less masculine than a lot of other dudes, and like that was because I didn't have a dad. So thinking about me and my son, me being the dad that I wanted to have in my life for all of these years, me being the dad that I had to be for myself for all these years, teaching myself all these things, learning until literally this year how to fucking tie a tie. Until I was 20, until I was like 22 years old, I didn't know how to fucking tie a tie.
That's what the internet's for.
You know?
I still don't know how to tie a tie. I mean, I've done it, but
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I just I just gotta
yeah.
throw blame at him for more because how much it pissed me off to not have a second adult in my life.
I think even just the whole handshaking thing's fucked up. I mean, that was the first thing, like, well, just my dad and my grandfathers taught me. It's just like when you greet somebody, make eye contact, give them a nice firm handshake.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that one really hit, and I've been working on it since then. But like, that really hit when she told me that's what her dad said to her. I was like, "Are you serious right now?" Like, I cried. That shit hurt. I cried, dude. Maybe I'm pussy. I don't know. but like, it was like, that was a moment for me, and I just can't wait to be a dad and be able to do the things that I wish my dad would have done for me.
Oh God, watch out! Whoever's with Nate now, while we're saying this, his biological clock is ticking.
Yeah, the biological clock's ticking, man.
He's having an early life crisis. He's ready.
Listen, I don't want to be an old parent either, man. Listen, my goals by the time I'm 10 years from now, my goals are to have a boat, a house, and a truck, or something that can tow the boat.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Not necessarily kids yet, but kids are right after the boat.
Gotta get the boat first.
The kids are right after the boat, man.
Get the boat first, so then you can take the kids out on the boat.
Facts.
What it is. Yeah.
You need to get rid of them.
Do some fishing trips. That's what chains and bricks are for. Here we go.
You pass me the bottle one.
Now it's starting to come out a little bit. Get some more creative juice in
us. Oh, slide that bitch over here.
Blowing around. Oh, that's funny, man. Ironically, it is, Father's Day, and we're finally breaking it out and doing this first podcast. I'm glad to finally be on it. Like I said, I tried to do one back in college where I tried to be like a host, but then you got to get the right people on to keep your audience entertained and have somebody new and creative ideas, thoughts, things to say, topics to bring up, and there just wasn't too much going on in my life at the time, so it kind of just all fell through. So
yeah,
it's just nice to be a guest, honestly, and especially the first one here.
The first one, this is a special fucking episode, man.
Props to this.
Hell yeah, dude.
Finally have some things to talk about.
I'm excited about that. I was telling you earlier at breakfast. We went to breakfast this morning, but I was telling you earlier, and I guess I'll break it down for the audience. So this podcast, the title of it is quite literally, it's called "What the Fuck Is This?" And the reason why it's called that is because of this podcast. We've done podcasts before. I've done podcasts before. Me and Jory have done podcasts before. You guys will meet him surely in some episodes sometime soon. He lives here with me. And we did a Spicy Tech podcast. I did an interviewing podcast where I interviewed tons of people, professors and accomplished individuals, and they just never quite hit the spot of what I like. I love to have just long form conversations where we bullshit about the things that we've already bullshitted about and the things that are to come. And this conversation, I know from being the fly on the wall in other conversations that
just on the back burner.
They can hit in ways that you didn't expect. Other perspectives change you so much if you're in long form like this, and you're in such a chill, relaxed position. Like your ears, your mind, your eyes, everything is open, and you take it in such a new way. And maybe people who hear this will take it in some way that is meaningful to them. Will hear me talking about the way not having a father impacted me, and maybe taking their own perspective if they can't relate or if they can relate, And that's all it is for this. This podcast is literally for me to bullshit. Not every episode's gonna be deep. Not every episode's gonna be shallow. We don't even know what
This is just.
It is what it is.
This is a good first intro.
Yeah, this is just to talk about whatever the fuck I feel like. This podcast is more than anything for me and my guests to just have good long-form conversation. No phones, no interruptions, just present, and talk about shit.
Speaking of phones, dude, I feel like I grew up in a generation way too late.
I am an old soul, man. I'm an old soul.
I'm not saying I'm an old soul. I like the current trends and stuff that are going on.
Me too. I love life now.
But the way, I could have lived that older lifestyle, man. Everybody's so glued to their phones nowadays. It's just always on them. And then it's oh, I'm busy doing shit. Well, it's I know you're not one of those people that actually puts it down and walks away. I get that.
Yeah.
But, don't be fucking ignoring and making all this bullshit up when it's just sitting in your pocket. You see it. It's on you. It's just how important that person is to them at the current time. Just give me that bullshit. Oh, I was doing something else. I didn't know that you called. You did. It's in your fucking pocket.
Dude, you know, we talk about this. I talk about this all the time. Jory never puts down his phone, man. He never does, and he gets so defensive when you call him out for it. I'm like, listen, man. Open your ears. Listen to what I'm telling you. You're always on your phone.
He is very defensive.
We're sitting there. I'm barbecuing out. Okay, so we're barbecuing. All right, it's me, Lydia, Anna. I don't know if you met Anna. But me, Lydia, Anna, and Jory. And we're all sitting here grilling.
Here, by the way, they have so many people floating around their house.
we got lots of people floating around here.
Who's not here?
But so we're out there. We're all smoking cigars and we're drinking, and I'm grilling at the same time. My phone's inside. Lydia doesn't even know where her phone is. Anna has hers probably on her. I don't even know. Maybe it's in the kitchen. No one has their phone out. It's nowhere present. Nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, physically on your body.
We're sitting here. And we're chatting. We're talking about shit. Just enjoying a cigar, a drink, grilling, and we're just chatting about random shit, just like me. And, we're batting back and forth, all laughing. And Jory's sitting here scrolling through his phone, and I'm like, "Bro, you gonna put your phone down? You're always on your phone." He's like, "No, I'm not." And I'm like, Anna, you've been on how many dates with him? Isn't he always on his phone? She's like, yeah, you are. And he felt so insulted when he turned and looked at Anna, and it was like, no, I'm not. And she's like, yes, you are. I'm like, Jory, see? You are. You just don't notice it because you're like, I just had to go do this. Well, listen, I can go check my email too. I can go check my text message. Go through my phone. I get tons of texts. I just got a text during this podcast. I only know because I got an Apple Watch. All right? I've already got it, and it's a business text about a job.
Business is business.
Yeah, but that can stay to the side for later, And I could make an excuse to go pause our conversation right now, and go look at my phone and read that text. And he's one of those people that I think would, and he finds it so insulting when I say that, and he gets pissed off. And I'm like, listen, man, that's really how it is with you.
Dude, it's like a buffer for some people. I think that's the way I want to describe it. It's like some sort of escape. Like, some people just, can't physically interact. The
only thing is, you take his phone, if his phone broke, you take his phone, you hide it, and he doesn't have his phone on him, it's not too different.
Yeah.
But it's just annoying to have him not be parts of conversation sometimes, or just butt out of a conversation, because if he starts looking at his phone for no reason.
I don't know, man. Like I said, I've never had that problem, but I do notice it. But then...
Yeah, I don't either. Like, I lose my phone all the time. Like, the only time that I keep my phone nearby is when Lydia's not around, because I like to keep in touch with her, and see if she calls me or texts me, or there's some type of
stay up to date.
I'm not taking out the whole time checking it, just to keep checking it, I'm not like that kind of person, but I like to keep it on me, and I don't like to lose it, because of, in case if she texts me for something, or calls me, or an emergency happens. If she's around me, like she's here, literally, I never charge my phone. It dies all the time. I only charge it when I'm at work because I need it as a GPS when I'm at work. But besides that, I lose my phone all the time when she's around, because I don't feel the need to carry it as an emergency utensil, because of I know she's with me. She's fine. But she's been in so many accidents, dude. You got to see her front bumper if she comes back. Next time you're here and her car's here, you see front. She said, I hit the curb. She calls me and says, I hit the curb and I thought it was fine. Now her car was smoking, broke down, had to pay $800 to get a fix. She fucked up the radiator, got a leak in it. And, yeah, it's like a 2001 fucking,
Dude, I don't know what Pontiac, whatever that thing was.
No, that's mine. I get the Pontiac. She has a
Oldsmobile, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, she's an Altima. Yep. It's no.
One of those cars that you're putting more money into worth of parts than what it's gonna actually be worth when you trade it in and get rid of it.
It's a dog shit car. But you ready? You know the big cinder block poles that are at the gas pumps?
Yeah.
Okay. She's pulling a Wawa parking lot. She hit that. Okay. Then she backs up and gets out of the car and texts me and says, "I hit the curb." Or sorry, later that day she texts me when it starts smoking.
Swiped it on the thing.
No, it's right in the front.
Oh, she just.
It's right in the front, just ran right into that bitch, like T-bone straight on. And she said, "I hit the curb." I said, "Girl, the curb isn't that high.
Yeah.
What do you mean you hit the curb? That's not the curb." Oh, women. She's like, I couldn't think of the word. Okay, bitches be wilder, man.
Ladies out there, you gotta learn how to drive. It's not hard.
It ain't.
I'm not stereotyping, dude. I'm really not.
No, it's okay to stare. Women can't drive, man. Most women can't drive, man.
Just say it. Say what's on my mind.
Listen, bro, I don't care.
Don't get it.
I don't. This is for us. This ain't for anyone else, bro.
Especially going in reverse, dude. I've seen girls.
They just like blatantly hit shit.
Driveway that's just straight back. There's no curves or turns or anything.
And they
hit
fucking
the
fuck
fucking
it up.
mailbox, dude. Like,
Dude, I just keep seeing TikToks, man. I just keep seeing the funniest fucking TikToks. Where bitches hit the crazy.
don't understand.
I saw one of those
driving
chicks.
so fucking hard,
Dude, wait, you ready for this? I saw one. This chick asked her boyfriend if she could drive his Mustang to work. I don't know why, but she did. She's backing out of the garage, and she hits the fucking mirror.
Oh my
backing
God.
out of the garage. It's a straight. You go straight back up, man.
I don't get it. I gotta get some more wine here for myself as well, dude. This is good.
It's good. It's a good Pinot.
Grigio. It's good white wine, honestly. Just
Yeah. It's. I like
always
them.
have it chilled though. You cannot have warm.
That's at 53 degrees. We keep that at
cannot
53.
Have warm wine or red. Cannot have a warm white. That is not good.
Listen, if you're here last week I brought home 12 bottles, plus we had 18 bottles of wine here.
Where they all go?
The recycling bin. I've been drinking a little bit every night. Or not almost every night. I've been drinking at least a glass of wine.
It's good stuff, man. I mean, I definitely like to have fun and party alcohols and whatever floats your boat, you know. But when I was working at the winery store before the rest of my life happened, it was like a whole new perspective with like just a social setting and drinking in a different type of atmosphere. Like, there's so much. It's like almost like an art behind.
Oh no, it for sure is. It's for sure an art. Yep.
Drinking of like the concept, like you got from all over the world, like all these different ingredients in them.
Yep.
They all taste different in their own way. They really do.
Yeah, they do. They do.
So
It's weird how different cultures use wine too. Like I've been learning a lot about it.
put it in food, cooking wine.
Well, just
Dessert wine.
like here in America, we're like okay, we're gonna drink white wine with our seafood and white wine with our spicy food, and we're gonna drink red wine with our sweeter foods and with our steaks, like
yeah, all the pairings, like white with your poultry.
pairings in other countries are the entire opposite.
So what they drink like red
When you're
wine
with
chicken
spicy food,
or something like
with
that.
spicy food, yeah.
See, I was always
Because of-
taught from the salesman aspect, it's like white with your poultry and red with your red meat or desserts, and like
Yeah.
I'll drink white wine and have like a chocolate brownie, you know.
I was diving into it, and there's actually red wine, the I'm trying to think of the word. The way that when you drink red wine, it attaches to your taste receptors in a way that opens them up more, that allows you to taste, opens up the same receptors that you taste spice through, like spicy food, hot spice, like it opens those receptors more. So you're able to taste spicy food more. So other cultures would use red wine to enhance spicy food, so that it's even spicier, and it's not like it's hotter. It's like the depth of the spice is more. You can taste the nuances to the spice.
It
Like
opens up your palate more. That's what.
but just specifically to spice. Like if you're one of those people, like jalapeno has a very distinct spice flavor that most people can taste,
Jalapenos.
and habaneros have a little bit more of a nuanced one that are harder to tell. If you don't know, like you see my fridge, I have 60 bottles of hot sauce. I love hot sauce. I work with hot sauce company.
Guy loves his sauces. He
Oh,
really
yeah, I
does.
do.
Has a whole entire refrigerator door. full.
Literally, we have the whole door is full.
The whole door filled with sauces.
We have some in the actual cubbies now because there's so much.
Now they're in the cubbies, like refrigerator full of sauces and some food.
Yeah, there's a little bit of food in there, but yeah, like it opens up your taste receptors, and you can taste a way more depth of more of a profile to each of your different like types of spice, and it's pretty cool. But I wanted to get into talking about has your perspective and has your life changed solely from this trip?
So now we're getting into it. Wow.
I want to get into it. Yeah.
Well, for all of you that don't know why I'm really here, I just got back from a 2-month road trip after I just graduated school, so that's my whole purpose here, being the first guest on the show with stuff to talk about. So my perspective
Yeah,
from this road trip.
what do you think this
What have
trip did for you?
Like, what did I learn?
Yeah, like what did this
Stuff
trip
like
do for
that.
you? I'm curious on.
Man, where do I even start?
Like, what's a moment where you just like, holy shit, I've been doing it wrong my whole life, or holy shit, like
See, dude,
this is
I
like,
never really found that. It was funny, like all these people like go out like throughout their life, and everybody's like chasing something in some sort of way, but they, I call it chasing ghosts, dude. They try to chase and find something that just like doesn't exist. So so your question, like from my perspective, like I learned I learned a lot, but like just the one thing that's been sticking with me now is just really like there's no one exact way to live life.
yeah,
Honestly, that's what it is. Like everybody's different. Like every single human being is different. Um, just trying to exactly think how I want to like word this one. Just huh.
I mean, I'll leap off that, and I had a conversation recently with a good friend of mine, and we talk a lot.
Oh, it's coming back to me.
Oh,
I
go
think I
go
got it.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Just like everyone's different in their own way, so there's no exact like one way to live life, and society has all these like things that they want to cater and filter people in, but like at the end of the day, like you just got to do like whatever you have to do for yourself to like make you happy.
Yeah,
So like somebody can like like recommend like give me stuff to do, but like don't be upset at me for like living life my way and like doing what I want to do. Like maybe somebody could say like, oh, like you smoke too much weed. Like we could just say that for an example. Yeah, maybe they do, maybe they don't, but it's just like say if you like didn't like weed at all and like I had to smoke weed all the time. It was like just because you want to choose and live your life that way, it doesn't mean that I have to. So
yeah,
like take me like give me recommendations and stuff like that, but like don't be upset at me for just like being myself. Just accept people for who they are. Basically, that's the way I would round it all up. Like don't try to change them. Like just because you want to live your life this way, like doesn't mean everybody has to, because we're all different.
yeah,
So there's not like one exact way to live your life. Just do whatever makes you happy. Like whatever help gets you through the day.
yeah. I mean, I had this conversation with someone recently.
And don't take anything less. Just be yourself and just uh, have people accept you for who you are. And then if they don't like it, you don't really need them in your life.
Yeah,
Whether they're your friends or your family.
we were talking about meaning and purpose,
Mm.
and
Oh.
if they are the same,
Mm-hmm.
what's the meaning of life? What's the purpose of life?
There's no
That,
meaning of life.
and that is where I directly agree with you. The person who I was talking to said that the way this was their perspective. They were saying there is a meaning to life, and the meaning to life is making meaningful connections with other people, making impact in a personal, mental, psychological way with other people. That was the making strong, meaningful bonds with others. They said that was the meaning of life, and they said as a collective whole. So they were thinking about the meaning of life as a collective whole, an entirety of society, not just in for like because they think there is one. I do not think there is one meaning to life. Personally, that was my perspective.
Life is just life. Like a meaning is like a purpose. So then we could break it off into that category.
That's a good way to put
life
it.
is just life, dude. Like we're here and we're just living. Like I don't know how we got here. People are different with all their religions or science and manifestation and all that and simulation, like all that shit. So like I said, I don't really try and focus on that because it doesn't bug me. Like I just accepted that we're just here. But your purpose, not everybody even really finds their purpose either. But apparently, it's a huge deal to a lot of people. It really is. Like I'm going through that right now. Like not for me. Like yeah, I'm trying to find my purpose, but it's not freaking me out. But there is somebody who's like in my life right now currently who holds a very special place in my heart, and she is going through issues with that, trying to find
Purpose and meaning.
And then like, and it just eats her alive, like, for some reason. But
I mean, for me, it did for a while.
a lot of people
For me, it did
just
for a while.
don't find it. It's like that said, like chasing ghosts. Like that's what it is. Like my grandpa, for example, like 77 years old, well put together guy, like has been blessed with so many things. And we'll talk about work and stuff like that. And he was like, dude, I never found what I ever wanted to do with my life. But he's just like still financially well off, like he's healthy, like he can like survive and take care of himself, but he never found exactly what he wanted to do. Or that's just dreams, dude. That's just chasing your dreams. But
Yeah, I think some people talk themselves into like the fact that there is one thing, you know, not instead of a multitude of impacts that you make in various ways, or even just like you said, just being here. That's your purpose. Your purpose is to be a body taking up space and time, and that's what it is. Like, we rewatched Avatar, the movie, you know, Blue People Avatar recently.
Avatar 2, please come out, by the way. James Cameron, you're going to die of Alzheimer's before you release this fucking second movie, dude.
I can't wait for it. There was a quote in this movie that hit me so hard this other time around. And it's a really corny quote, but the quote goes something along the lines of, this is borrowed, like, we are borrowed energy. And we are. That's what hit me so hard. Like, this is... I've been over, I would say, the past 3 years, not so as much the past, you know, pandemic year, but before the pandemic hit, I was struggling with the thoughts of this ending, life ending, existence, the possibility of existence no longer being existence for me and for who I am, which would be all of reality for me. The world as I know it being gone, and me no longer being able to think, all of that.
See, dude, now you're cracking me up because this is all that trippy shit.
Yeah.
That a lot of people think about, and I do think about it as well. But I just put it on the back burner in my mind because people freak out.
There's
over stuff that they can't control. You can't
exactly,
control it.
and that's what put me into this weird mindset is that I found beauty in how finite life is. You know, this is my life is smaller than this to the infinity of infinity. You know, and I don't know. I mean, I've been, you know, I found beauty in how finite and special what I have is for me. Not for anyone else, not for the impacts I make to anyone else, because it'll be just as, you know.
It's all for you, dude. You're unique in your own way.
Exactly, and this is where I found comfort in it.
Yeah.
In the fact that it will end, and, you know.
Maybe not in our lifetime. I hope it doesn't. I mean, people say the sun's gonna explode and all that. And,
yeah, hopefully not.
You know, just that would be nice for it to explode after I'm gone.
Hey, it's all in everyone else's plate, not mine.
I want to enjoy planet Earth while I'm here. But again, man, like I said, that's just all the shit that people freak out about, and you can't control it. Just like accept the things you can't change them. Your life is your life, but you are so minuscule. Like the way you just described it reminds me of like the ending from Men in Black, that movie, like how it took like where they were and then zoomed it out into the world, then zoomed it out into the galaxy, then zoomed it out into like deep space from that, then zoomed it out into like a little marble with like these giants playing like a game of marble, like, you know. So it is like that, but I guess to circle around back to it with like life and meaning and purpose and all that, some people just never find it, but it eats them alive, like trying to find it, because they don't want to accept things that they can't change. And
You know who really put it into perspective?
Doesn't really freak me out.
Alex Honnold last night watching Free Solo. Like that's what he said. His girlfriend, who he's now married to.
2 hours to climb a fucking rock.
He sits down with his wife, and his wife looks at him and says, "What?" She said something along the lines of like, "Well, what if, you know?" She's basically saying like. Say it changed, and I was a really important part of your life, and you really cared about staying safe for me. Would you not do this?
Oh, and he was like, "Yeah, I'd rather climb a rock."
He said no. It wouldn't change my mind.
Yeah.
No hesitation. Instantly was like no. And he's got to that realization where he needs to do like, and then his buddy died, Yuli, His buddy died free climbing.
Yeah.
Oh, the week before he went or some
There
shit.
was a good handful of guys that have died from that they were showing all their names and the dates.
Yeah.
Like, and all, so I was like,
And this
holy
man
shit.
died a week before he did free climb, and he said, well, think about his wife, like that's me, and he said, well, what do you think she expected? And that hit.
That's just
You know?
raw material, dude. That's just the guy that clearly does not give. Dude, he doesn't.
He's
give
doing
any-
it for him, and he
give
doesn't
any
care about the.
fucks at all. At the end. He
Yeah.
lives out of a fucking van for 9 years, dude. I lived out of a car for 2 months. It was cool, but to do that for 9 years, fuck that, man. Like, that's just that guy. Just he has his purpose. He's one of those people that just found what he loves, and he just won't accept anything else. So good for him at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's
not what I would want to do.
hell no. So I told you last night we made the deal. Whichever the last one of us three motherfuckers is left alive, we're free solo. El Capitan. It's suicide. It's suicide by climbing.
Still have to go to Yosemite, dude. I never made it there. California parks are a pain in my ass. They really are.
Tell me more about the trip.
So,
Favorite parts, iconic stories, the fucking UFOs you saw, anything. Hit me with it.
Yeah.
Life perspectives, changing moments,
So this trip was dope.
doing mushrooms.
It really was.
I want to hear about it.
Dude, well, that was awesome. We can take it from the mushrooms, but so I have eaten mushrooms a good amount of times. Like we could just say somewhere between 5 and 10, somewhere between that. But
All right.
I love them, dude. I've never had a bad trip on them ever. Like, and everybody like freaks them out or whatever. They're all natural. They come from Earth. Like literally, they're grown in shit. Like that's why they taste like shit. But they're awesome. So we were in
Go.
southern Utah. That was where I ate the mushrooms. The aliens were up by Salt Lake City, dude. I'm convinced 100% I saw aliens. And so the mushrooms I ate, I up the dosage every time that I take it to so I was apparently 2 grams short of the Heroics Man dosage, which is 7 grams of mushrooms. I was on 5.
You fucking psycho.
Yeah, I guess. But we went to Arches National Park in southern Utah, which is beautiful, by the way. Just anybody out there, like, you have to go and see it. It's just so unique in its own way. So we were eating mushrooms, and then my buddy started to trip really hard as well, who I was with, and so we ended up leaving the park a little bit earlier than we wanted to, because all the people were freaking him out. So when you eat mushrooms, I definitely would recommend that you just be outside, in some sort of nature aspect, and it's better to not be around a crowd of people, because you're just, the way I would describe it is you're just literally connecting your brain and your body. They are 2 separate things, but then it just registers all as one. I can move my hands and do all this, and that's why you see people do some weird shit with mushrooms. So we end up coming back to literally the desert, and it's one of our campground spots. We literally found a new spot to sleep every single day. So we went back to our campground for that night. It was 2 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that, and the mushrooms were really starting to kick in. And so you just get the giggles and laugh, dude. But I'll never forget it. I literally look at my friend, and I look at this little pebble that was on the ground, or a little rock, and I just kicked it, just tapped it lightly with my foot, and it just rolled away. And we just both started just cracking up, because that's just the earth, and just this little thing, it's so hard to describe, but it was hilarious, just to literally just.
You said you thought your buddy was a bush at some point
just
too, I
scrape
believe.
oh yeah, dude. So when we were in the park, you get a green backpack on, and so we were hiking around. And they had all these little green shrubs and stuff just in the park, and so he was hopping cliffs and going over all this stuff. The guy's a total fucking monkey, man. He really is. So he has his green backpack on, so the mushrooms were kicking in as well. And he hunched over, and I looked away for a second, and I just turned around, and he was gone. And I was like, dude, where the fuck did my friend go? Where is he? And I'm looking around, and I see this green figure off in the distance. And I'm like, is that a bush, or is that his green backpack? I couldn't tell. And so I'm looking at it for 2 minutes. It's really 2 seconds, but then when you're on mushrooms, just fucking time just kind of goes into its own figure of space. And then he stands up, and I'm like, oh man, like that all right, that wasn't a bush, that was actually my friend. So just create it can.
So I'm just like adjusting the volume.
No, you're good. We'll still play around with this one, but it's just nice, man. Like I was at this point where I was like, I needed like answers, like questions that needed to be answered, like, what am I doing here? Why am I here? How long am I here? Like, what's going on in my life? Like, all of these just big, like, deep inner thoughts that are in your subconscious. You just don't really bring it out consciously. So then when we ate the mushrooms, it did help me just find all those answers. Just realizing everything about my trip and stuff. And I always felt like I was in such a rush, or not like in the right place at the right time, and that I was like missing something, and had all these like regrets that if I died tomorrow I didn't see this place, or I didn't do this, or I didn't do that. And so that was just like one of the big things that I learned through like my trip. All in all, it was a successful trip, like both on the mushrooms and then the trip overall now as a whole. But I realized one of the biggest things was all the stuff that I saw, it's not going anywhere. And it's not fake. It's not some fake fantasy land that you just see on a Google image or the internet or something like that. Like, it's real. It's physically real. You can go up there and touch it. It's not going anywhere. It's there to stay. So if you want to see something, go and see it. But don't feel like that you have to see it, like, very suddenly. Like it's going to disappear tomorrow. It's not, dude. It's all there to stay, so...
Damn.
That's what I figured it out. So, I mean, it was cool. Like, if I died tomorrow, I wouldn't have any regrets now. Like, that was one of my biggest things, that I always wanted to go to California. Always wanted to. Always grew up watching movies, loved the whole Hollywood scene and all that, and this big old, fantasy land where all your dreams can come true and, all that shit. And then when I was there, I was like, wow, this is just, like, not what I expected it to be. Like, it was awesome. But I was just like, this place is real. Like, people, like, live here. Like, they're not just all actors and A-list celebrities and, all that stuff. Just regular human beings, We all are regular human beings, but they're just doing shit. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Like, and it was cool, dude. When I was in California, I ate at Boa Steakhouse, the most iconic restaurant in California that everyone just knows about. And so I did meet Rice Gum.
Oh shit!
Yeah, man, met Rice Gum, and it was the most funny, like, kind of
did you get a little photo with him or anything?
Awkward interaction. No, I didn't, but it was like, so we were eating dinner there, and it was getting darker, and it's all like an outside atmosphere. It was dope, like. And so I'm sitting across the table, and I look like over my cousin's shoulder and at the table behind us, and there was this guy that he looked like he was somebody. Like, I'm not trying to be stereotypical here and offend anybody on this podcast.
No, fuck everyone else.
But he just looked like a stereotypical Asian dude. And I was like, but I knew, like, in my mind he was somebody. And then that's like the spot, where all the celebrities and somewhat famous people go for dinner. Just Boa Steakhouse is the spot.
Wait, so you didn't know who Rice Gum was before?
No, I knew who he was.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I know his YouTube account and all that stuff. So I'm looking at this guy across the table, and I'm like, I don't know who he is, but I think he's somebody. And so, like, I'm just kind of, like, looking at him. He didn't know that I was looking at him. Then he, like, looked up and then saw that I was looking at him. Then I, like, looked away. And then I, like, looked again, and then he looked at me and then looked away. So, like, I think, like, he knew, like, who he was.
Yeah.
But I wasn't too sure about it. And he was with this beautiful girl as well, and she was just, like, all over him, bro. Just, like, literally just, like, she literally just could have gave him neck in the fucking booth. Just all up on his shit, like, all over him. And I was like, they can't be, like, an ordinary dude, or maybe they're just
Pass me the bottle real quick?
Yeah, or maybe they're just that madly in love. But this chick was all over him, man. And I was like, all right, he's got to be somebody. So at the end of dinner, I, like, got up, and my cousin who I was with at the time, she's so funny. She gets embarrassed all the time, and she just like somehow thinks everything like revolves around her. And so like I was like, yo, like I think that's rice gum at the end of the day, because it was a stereotypical Asian dude, but he had this big ass fucking cinder block head. And that just
dude, I love it.
And that looks like
rice gum. Get on a boxing match with this motherfucker.
That does look like rice gum, dude. It's this scrawny little motherfucker who can't do more than 10 push-ups at zoo culture with this big ass fucking cinder block head. So I get up, I'm like, yo, watch this, and my cousin's like, oh my god, don't do it. Like, I'm just like, shut up. Like, so I walk over and I just like very politely I come up and I'm like, hey man, like, you rice gum by any chance? Like, I don't want to interrupt your dinner or whatever. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, just dabbed him up. And I was like, dude, just like a big fan. Like, just keep on doing what you're doing. Like, enjoy your meal. And he was like, oh, like, you know, thanks, man. Like, you too. And then that was it. So it was funny. I didn't really, like, fanboy him. And I think I probably caught him off guard as well. Because he's having everybody be like, oh my god, it's fucking rice gum. Like, can I get a picture? Like, can I suck your cock? Like, and I was just like, yo, man, like, I don't want to interrupt your dinner, but you rice gum. And just, I'm not really a big fan of the guy, honestly. He just fucking plays video games. Like, you know, and has all this other stupid shit that he uses for clout.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a huge rice gum guy.
I just kind of said what he wanted to hear. Like, I really don't want to be like, oh, fuck you, bro. Like, Jake Paul's better, like, you know, or some shit like that.
Yeah,
you know?
say
like,
some.
Yeah, like,
he's definitely a clout chaser.
Yeah,
I'll say that. He's definitely a clout chaser.
Yeah, that internet beef bullshit, like all that. So, but it was cool, man. So technically, like, I did meet some sort of celebrity influencer type of person, but I wasn't even like as surprised as I thought I was gonna be, dude. Because he's just a human being. Like, they're just doing shit. That's all it is. Like, honestly, like, one of my favorite people, man, like, if I met Machine Gun Kelly, it'd be awesome to see the guy. But I really don't think I would fanboy him. Like, I literally think I could just cruise around town and we'd just be bumping his shit on the radio. He's just a human that makes music. People just like his shit, and it's on the radio. Like, that'd be no different than you trying to, like, start making music, and then it's on SoundCloud or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, your shit just blows up, just like people like your music. But there's nothing really different. Just,
that shit happens now more than ever before, I think.
Just one musician to the next, dude. It's all just about the right place and the right time and just connections. That's what the real world's about. It's just all who you know. And that was the whole California vibe, dude. It was just, it's sad, man. Like, it's a beautiful place, but not the best people. It's just always, like, what somebody can get from you, like, or what you can offer them. And
yeah, I mean, when you get to California, especially LA,
they're just
it's
shallow.
so dense, man. There's so many people.
They're just shallow. They're just.
Well, I feel like you kind of have to get filtered to that point when you live with when there's so many people in such a small area. You know, you have so many human interactions that it becomes unpleasant to have human interaction to a degree. So unless if it's gonna value you, you have to start separating. Like, is this gonna bring value or not? Should I spend any more time on this or not? And like, I feel like it's not that odd for that many dense people, but like, is that what it's like to live in China or no? Like, I don't know, probably not.
Dude, I don't know. Chinese people just have no personal space. That's what it is. They all crowding on the subways and
Bro,
stuff
when you
like
see
that.
when you see the population density in some of the cities in China, holy shit.
Running each other over in the streets, like, none of them jaywalk, or maybe that's Japan. I don't know, dude. They all fucking look the same.
Listen, man, it's a science to be able to diagnose all the different types of Asian. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know how
it's like
people do it, dude.
When Asians look at
but
black,
it's a big insult. You call a Japanese person Chinese. It's a big fucking insult.
It is a big insult, man. Or when you call or when you call a Cuban a Mexican.
Yeah.
You ever done that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I use a finger real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, dude, do you think black people look at white people and be like, oh, this is another cracker? You know? Is that racist to say? Can I say that? I don't even know.
It's your podcast. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But, like, you know, like they all think that we're all the same, right?
When we go big with this, we will have to monitor some shit because it is fucking 2021 with all you goddamn Skittle lickers
I'll put it on my own damn website that I pay for.
Theo Von shit, dude, calls them all Skittle lickers, man. I love it. Nobody knows what that means, and I made up my own saying with it, dude.
Is that what we're just gonna call shit, like,
just
shitheads? We're just calling them Skittle lickers?
Yeah, just like all the fucking lefties and, you know, all that shit. Like, they're Skittle lickers, man. Like, I personally don't care for Skittles. That's why I found this kind of funny. Skittles are a shitty candy. Straight up, they are. I don't like them. But people, I call them Skittle lickers because no matter how bad of like a candy or human being they are, they don't ever want to offend anybody, so they'll lick the Skittle. They don't want to actually like eat it and hurt its feelings and devour it. You know, they just
That's a good one. That's good.
Fucking lick the Skittle. So just the pun with the people.
Listen, man.
People are Skittle.
Everyone's allowed to have their own damn opinions. Everyone's allowed to be as offensive as they fucking want.
Yeah.
Because of the old phrase is fucking exists for a reason. Words, they can hurt your feelings. They will not kill you. Mm-hmm. Just like you can say some shit that would literally. People get offended on other people's behalf more than they get offended on their own behalf nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, it just happens so often. It's like, dude.
They want all these things.
Even if I'm offending you, even if I'm calling you a fucking piece of shit, saying all people would fucking, like, I don't know, blue and white Adidas shirts are fucking pussies.
Yeah.
You know? You can be offended, man. And you can say all people wearing teal fucking H&M looking fucking white boy shirts are fucking pussies.
You look feminine because you wear pink.
Exactly. Like, and you can say that even if it's offensive to me.
They take it so literally, dude. It's so funny. Just people are just so soft nowadays.
Like who cares if it offends you? Why is that a problem? Listen, we all played Xbox 360. Someone says some shit that insults you. You know what you do? You fucking come after the mom.
the Xbox message box list thing or whatever that was called, dude, when Modern Warfare 2 was the shit back in the day, and you're on,
voice messages.
Yeah, dude, you're on the mic, you're talking shit to God knows to some kid at some place wherever, and it was just like, I'm gonna fucking find out where you live. I'm gonna hack your Xbox. I'm gonna kill your whole family.
I'm gonna fuck your mom.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck your mother if I ever see her.
I'm gonna fuck your dog. You know, like
those were the days.
Those were, bro. Well, how did that evolution of kids growing up become this evolution of adults?
I don't
that
know,
are offended by everything.
Us,
I don't get it.
We're that generation.
Or I guess that would be it'd be the generation that were parents to the kids like us.
Yeah.
Right?
I wish I grew up in my parents' generation.
Listen, give it like 20 more years, and then it'll be us that are the adults who like run like the mainstream rule sets.
Well, people record too much shit nowadays. That's what I noticed, man. Like living in different generations. That's the way I would describe like our grandparents and then our parents and then us. That's three distinct different generations. All within over like we could say like a 50-year like time span. Like most grandparents are about like 50 years older than their grandchildren. So everybody records so much shit now though, dude. Like your phone is literally a weapon. Like
it is.
So the shit and the stories that I've heard like back in my parents' day, like with all the, digital or not digital film cameras and stuff like that, like and boombox stereos and all that stuff, dude. Like I would have thrived in that generation. Because I'm out here just doing fucking dumb shit as it is now, just being mean, acting like a fucking retard, which I love that word, by the way, but apparently it does offend a lot of people as well.
No, dude. We're keeping it.
We're keeping
the
dude.
word, man.
Just literally just being,
it's here to stay,
just
bro.
being a fucking dog. Like,
listen, we are retards, you're a retard. I'm a fucking retard.
Dude, I am retarded in my own way sometimes, but the shit that they could get away with back then,
dude,
and just pass with flying colors. I wish we could do that, dude. Like now, it was like, dude, my dad has this picture, in his photo album, and they were throwing around a deer head, man, a dead deer. They just chopped the fucking head off, and had some fraternity party, throwing this thing around at each other. But now, if that's on the internet somewhere, then, oh, it's fucking animal cruelty, if meat's murder, like,
dude, oh, dude, that one kills me,
like,
man.
So, like, just that shit, dude, so, but even, like, with lack of cell phones, how we were talking about the phone issue earlier,
You know the way to reverse this shit?
Just be like, yo, like, I will meet you at the diner for lunch at 12 o'clock,
And that's all you need.
That's it, like, I'll see you there. Like, I don't need to be fucking texting you and Snapchatting you, like, every other 5 minutes out of the day up to that point. Like, if I say I'm going to be there, I'll see you there.
Yeah,
like,
and if not, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with it, dude. The way to get around, dude, this cancer culture bullshit, that I feel like the majority of people agree cancel culture is fucking bullshit.
Cancer or
No,
cancel?
cancel.
Cancel.
Sorry,
Okay.
my tongue gets like I have had tongue surgery 4 times.
Okay.
And when my tongue gets like tired from talking too much, I get a lisp,
Gotcha.
and a slur. But cancel culture is absolute bullshit, and I think most people agree with that. You ask 10 people, 9 out of 10 will be like, yeah, it's bullshit. If not even 10 out of 10, you know, like most people are against it. But it's the problem that people are scared when they see someone call someone out for throwing around a fucking dead deer head, saying it's gonna recruit you. People are scared to speak out and say, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Don't you got kids to take care of? Don't you got a pool to clean? Don't you got your grass to cut? Don't you got a job to go to? Don't you got your kids to be a mom to? Don't you got something to do?
Fuck
Don't
off.
you got a purpose to find? Don't you got a fucking El Capital to climb? You know?
Yeah.
Don't you got something to do?
Yeah.
You know, instead of people replying who disagree and say that bullshit, just like this lady spoke out of just whatever the fuck made her talk.
Dude.
And come at you for throwing on a fucking deer head, which is none of her fucking business.
Too many
Is she the
people-
deer's mom? No. Okay? She don't get a she can say whatever the fuck she wants.
Yeah.
But the problem is people are scared that if they speak out against it and say, "Shut the fuck up, lady. You're stupid. Go bring your kids to soccer."
Well, dude,
okay?
everybody tries to
They're scared
please
that lady's gonna cancel
everybody.
her.
That's what it is. It's so sad. Like, and it is. People are scared to speak out and like rebuttal back because then
You just can't give
Dude,
a fuck. Just
so-
like me and you are not gonna fuck right now. You need to just
society
speak out against it.
society
just
is just all favored to like making the majority of people like happy anyways. So like, dude, for example, I forget exactly what happened, but like with the whole NFL and like how they were all kneeling and going through that whole thing, Drew Brees, out of all people, the Saints quarterback, who's literally, dude, he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. He is an amazing athlete. He said something in like the rebuttal to the whole kneeling for the national anthem, and you know, you get paid millions of dollars and you don't even respect your own country, and then people like lashed out at him, like not like literally like really nobody. I'm sure a select few like sided with him for whatever he said, but then he was like hated by everybody. So then he had to go back on his Instagram and Sports Center and make an apology to the world for saying what he truly felt.
Yeah,
Like-
and I think it's bullshit. As controversial as it is, the kneeling during the national anthem. Yes, he is a United States citizen. Yes, he probably loves the country, but he disagrees with certain things in the country. And then look at how many months later do we have this Black Lives Matter shit going on that evolved into a load of bullshit that is no longer, for a large portion of people that are involved in these protests, not about Black Lives Mattering. You know? But he tried making movements back then. You know? That was what it was for. He tried making movements back, and if he wants to kneel, man, he can kneel.
No,
If his
he
contract
was, like,
says he
saying,
can't-
he was saying that like we shouldn't, like all that, like show respect for your country, and like
Yeah,
basically
and
everybody stop being fucking
If he
skittle
feels that way,
lickers.
he can say that.
Stop being skittle lickers. So he did, and then he got all this backlash and rebuttal for it, and then went on to apologize for all the people that he upset.
And
You know what
I-
I'm saying? Like
No,
I don't really know if my point's coming
no,
across.
I get what you're saying, and
It's just sad because people
it's
are
stupid
so
that anyone should come
focused-
after anything else other than someone else's opinion and try to
Yeah.
convince them of their own.
Everyone's so focused on everybody else that they forget about themselves. Like at the end of the day, dude, you have to take care of yourself first before you can even take care of anybody else.
So many people would rather fucking heckle someone else,
But they don't-
about their opinions
They don't
rather
comprehend
than
that.
rather than focus on like maybe going to the gym, like they probably should be doing.
I call it self-care now, dude. You gotta treat yourself and love yourself first before you can treat or love somebody else. You know, especially with the, I don't know, all the labels and shit now. Especially with like being a man, you know, society like, oh, be the man of the house, like, you know. But then
Listen,
now there's all
I've been
that
seeing
shit
some
too.
trends go back.
So then it's like
with
if
TikTok.
I love a girl, like obviously like I want to support her and like give her the best, you know, that I can possibly do. But then I can't do that if I don't even know how to take care of myself first, you know? How can
Yeah.
you take care of somebody else when you can't even take care of yourself? And that's what everybody else is doing. They're all looking at other people's shit, fucking complaining, doing this and that, being skittle lickers. And then, like how you were just saying, like, take a step back and look at yourself. Like, instead of yelling at somebody for having a dead animal on a picture album, like, you have so many other things you could be doing with your own life. Like, why is
Instead
that?
of typing that thing out, you could have been lifting
Yeah.
dumbbells.
Why is it such a big deal to you? Like,
Yeah.
or like, what are you gonna do about it? You're not gonna do anything about it. You're just gonna complain.
Yeah.
People
There's
love to
an
complain and not do anything about it.
There's an old Indian saying, or I don't know if it's Indian saying. But
I got a saying.
I heard
for you
an
after
Indian
this one.
say it to me, as an old story, or I heard a video of an Indian saying it. Okay, and it was about the deception of your nose, and he was like, when you wake up in the morning and you didn't brush your teeth last night, and you start talking, your nose will not tell you that your breath stinks.
Yeah. George
But
got smelly
the person next to you, their nose will tell them. That makes them tell you that your breath stinks.
I smelled that last night that you're just talking about it. Jory's got smelly breath.
Yeah.
Put it on the
It's
podcast.
so easy
here.
to notice
Man
that
needs to brush
someone
his
else's
fucking
breath
teeth.
stinks. You ready? It's so easy to notice that someone else's breath stinks.
I hope my breath doesn't smell.
But
like
your
it. Brush
nose will
my
never
teeth.
tell you that your breath. It takes a lot of introspection
Yeah.
for your nose to tell you that your breath stinks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same way with life. It takes a lot of introspection and self-inspection and self-thought and deep levels of breaking shit down to see your own problems. But it's so easy to see someone else's.
Yeah. It's just, and I saw that all over the country.
Yeah.
It was just one spot to the next, dude. Everybody has problems everywhere. If you don't like something, just lose it. That's what my fucking boy said. Shout out to my boy Brady Stafford, who I did this journey with way back. Just that guy, he's a good man. Honestly, he is. There's nothing bad I could say about that dude. Just fucking hilarious. But he kept saying this one thing. He was just like, dude, if you don't like it, lose it. And it was just, it's so like cliche and funny.
It is, dude.
And it's not quoted at all, but that shit is hilarious, dude. Just get rid of it. If like, oh, I'm fat. Well, there's this thing called an elliptical. Get the fuck on it and start moving. Like,
Dude.
like, your life's not over just because you did something. You can't repeat the past. You shouldn't repeat the past. If anything, just try to learn and move on and be better for the future. If anything, just don't do the same shit over again and then expect different results, because then that's just pure insanity. You know, that's insanity. But if you don't like it, fucking lose it. Start working forwards to improve it. Like, it's not that hard. But everybody just doesn't like a lot of things, but they don't want to do anything to make it go
It's a
away.
lot of lack of effort from a lot of people, and it's like I've hit the realization recently, and I'm hitting overtime now. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm hitting my life, and like I've almost entirely given up gaming, which sucks because it is something I enjoy, but it's not something that's producing the output that I'm getting from it. I'm putting a lot of input into it. I was putting a lot of time into it,
You feel like you're
and not
wasting
getting a
your
lot of
time.
output out of it.
You're like wasting your time with it.
Yeah,
That's the way you
and
feel.
it's sure I'm having a shitload of
Pass me that
fun.
wine. We got any wine left? We've been working on this bottle, man.
Yes,
we
we
still
have.
got a good amount. Oh, we good.
So, of course, I'm having a lot of fun doing it. But there are other things that I've noticed that I can do and enjoy just as much, if not more, at the same time
Yeah.
as I'm making progress towards something that feels good to make progress towards. While when I'm doing a lot of the gaming, I'm not feeling any much progress. Or I wasn't, at least. Not with streaming, not with making YouTube videos, not that kind of stuff. And to me, that made it start to feel less valuable to me.
Well, that's good that you figured it out, honestly. For some
Yeah.
reason, a lot of people just can't comprehend that either. Like, when they're wasting... Yeah, it's good that you tried it. Like, you trial and error. Like, you try it, you like it, and if it's not
Yeah.
giving you what you want, move on. So, if you don't like it, lose it.
So some people just get attached. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
you're standing in the line at the grocery store, and you've been standing in that line for 5 minutes, and you're so close, but the line next to you it's shorter. You just wasted so much. Or I think a better analogy is
But you didn't know.
you buy a car and you start fixing it up. You put in $2,000 into it, and you finally get up and running, and then something fucks up. You're like, God damn, it's another $1,000. At what point do you have to keep spending money that it's still worth it? Or do you abandon it? Some people have that mindset to never abandon it because they've set their mind to it. And it's like, there is a point when you have to reevaluate.
Well, they don't like to be labeled as quitters. Like, I don't want to be a quitter either. Like, we can wrap this quick back around to how we were talking about fathers, and we got some daddy issues on this podcast today.
We got some daddy and mommy issues on this podcast. I'll get in that another one.
We'll save that. Could be another episode. My parents just always taught me to not be a quitter. Just finish what you start. But then how you were just saying, when you're done with it, like, there is a certain point in time, like, where you do have to be like, all right, like,
you got to reevaluate. You got to cut the hair that you grew.
I got to move
and
on.
you got to reevaluate what you're going to do from here.
Got to move on.
Like, I can't just keep streaming on Twitch thinking that I never ever did I stream on Twitch with the outlook that it was going to make me famous one day, that I was going to make my living off of it.
Yeah.
But I've always had the outlook that I'm only going to put as much time into it as it's worth to me. And right now, it doesn't carry a lot of value to me because I'm not getting much out of it, and I can get the same things that I get from streaming, that same connection with people, that same amount of entertainment and fun. I can get that same amount of enjoyment out of sitting out on the grill with you and the rest of the boys over.
Damn straight.
Flipping some patties.
Yeah.
Just going out and playing ball with the boys. We played some paintball. I got fucked up.
Yeah. Dude, you did get fucked up.
I got fucked up.
This man has paintball marks all over his fucking body right now. Pulled his pants down and showed us his ass last night.
I showed you my ass last night. Yeah, I got fucked up. They shot me in the ass.
Show us the paintball mark on his right ass cheek.
I like how you remember it's my right ass cheek.
That was one thing from my trip that I learned as well. Just thinking about that, as I've always been like self-aware, but now after traveling the country and being to so many different places and meeting so many different people and different time zones and perspectives and all that, I'm just like extremely self-aware now. Like, I would just say sharp as a tack, dude. Like, I'm just remember everything that I'm doing, like where I'm going, why I'm doing this, why I'm doing that. Like, so the whole reasoning and purpose behind that, but the fucking paintball shot on the right ass cheek, like I said, just self-aware, but very like I'm dialed the fuck in now. Basically, that's what it is.
That's sick, dude.
I was floating around, just doing my own thing after I graduated school. Didn't know what my purpose in life was and all that shit. And I was like, dude, it's either just like get a job or do this road trip. And I didn't have any ties to anything at the time, so
yeah,
it worked
great.
Out. It literally worked out.
Me and Joy were jealous.
Perfectly.
Me and Joy sat down, we had to talk, and we were like, dude, we're both jealous.
It really, yeah.
But we wish we were able to just set aside our jobs.
I had no obligations.
Our people, and just fucking just
go.
Just send it. Send it for 2 months.
I just left, dude. I was just gone.
I mean, that's what I did with my vacation I got coming up. I just said, fuck it, and I booked a vacation. It's my first ever vacation. It's just me and Lydia. We're going, and it's my first ever vacation without my parents there, without my parents watching over my shoulder. That's not just a road trip. Me and Joy have taken road trips to Rhode Island, to, this, that place. But never have I gone where I'm the captain of the ship, and, the ship starts sinking. I'm the captain that goes down last. It's all on me.
You. It's all on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But listen, we gotta get into fucking grizzly bears and fucking crackheads.
Crackheads and grizzly bears.
Hit me with the grizzly bears and the crackheads, man.
Dude, all right. So basically, like, the trip was amazing. It really was. But there was a lot of stress factors that people just don't know about because they're just like, oh, you're out doing this fucking road trip. You're traveling the country. You have no obligations to anybody. Like, you have nothing to complain about. Yeah, I get that. But, dude, when you're there and you're fucking out there, it's like literally straight survival mode. Like,
yeah.
Where am I going to eat? Where am I going to sleep? Where am I going to shit? How am I going to get there? Where is it? How long is it going to take to get there? Like, waking up every single day and having all that hit your mind instantly from the moment you wake up until the moment you go to sleep, it gets annoying after a while for 2 months. So that was the thing, man. It was a great trip, but there was not really one thing that strived over the other. So it was like, for example, wherever we would try to sleep at night, it was either like freezing fucking cold, Or you would have street lights blasting through the car, waking you up at the ass crack of dawn every morning. Or you got fucking crackheads lurking around. Like, dude, when I was in Seattle, I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning to this. I heard this like shopping cart going down the road, and I'm like, what is that? And I peek up, and there's this fucking crackhead, dude. He's wheeling the shopping cart. He's jumping around, picking up plastic soda cans, and he would jump and do like a hopscotch, and then bend over and pick it up and be like, and then put it in the shopping cart, and then wheel around, and then jump again, pick it up, and go.
I'm fucking dead, bro.
And then this guy pulls up right next to me. This is all within the same 2 hours of this parking spot where I was outside of Big Lots in Seattle, Washington. And this guy pulls up, and now it's like 8 a.m. Just starts blasting this weird, like, reggae, like, Caribbean music. and I'm like, all right, maybe he's getting himself hyped up before he goes in the Big Lots to go to work for the day or something. No. Like, another 45 minutes goes by. This guy finally gets out of the car, and I had my windows tinted and stuff, so it was nice. So I could, like, see out, and they couldn't see what was going on inside the car. This guy climbs up this, like, little, like, ravine that was, like, by the front of my car. Goes up, starts digging through the woods and shit that's in there. Comes down with an umbrella, out of all things. Walks right past my car. He did like it was like a big U. He like went up to the right of my car, disappeared, and then came back down to the left around the back side with an umbrella. And then just drove away. Like, dude, it was so weird. Like,
the fucking shit people do, man.
And then this other guy pulled up, like, so that night before when we were in the spot, I'm like out of my car. I was getting everything like all settled up, ready to go for the night, go to sleep. This guy pulls up, and he's like, yo, like, what is that? I'm like, the Thule on top of my car. I'm like, it's a Thule. Like, it's like, well, how much are one of those things, man? Like, I always wanted one. Like, what does it do? I'm like, dude, like, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, bro, do you live under a fucking rock? Like, you throw it on top of your car and you store shit in it. And I told him what it was. Then this guy, somehow, this complete stranger, we get into this deep conversation. He starts telling me his whole life story, how he was like a teacher, like wannabe UFC fighter, and then he's writing this book that's coming out. He was like, oh, do you like to read? Like, asking me all these questions, like I was like his new best friend. Because apparently he was trying to go into the Big Lots and they were closed. I mean, it was like 10:30 at night, so what do you expect? Just weird, man. Really fucking weird.
Damn.
I'm trying to think of other shit.
You have an almost death story, I know, where you almost died.
Oh my god.
You got a UFO story.
I honestly could have theoretically died twice on this trip.
Well, I'm ready to hear. And then you got some with the grizzly bears, or the grizzly bears the same as the death story?
No, dude. I thought it was either crackheads. I figured we could name this thing crackheads or crackheads and grizzly bears, because it was like wherever we would sleep, especially out west. It was like if it was like city areas, it was like all the crackheads that you'd have to worry about. Then if it was out in the woods, bears, like, and all like, you know, predators.
Oh
and all
shit!
That. Like, so they had big, like, bear-proof everything, bear-proof bathrooms, bear-proof trash cans, like bear.
How do they make them bear-proof?
They have like all these traps and latches and stuff on it, so they can't just like open it up with its paw.
Dude, have you seen them motherfuckers? I seen them turn a doorknob.
They break in the cars, man. Yeah,
I heard them. I literally seen a video of someone's dash or Ring doorbell. Just grab the handle, fucking twist that shit and open it.
Yeah.
Open their goddamn door. Bear is walking through their goddamn kitchen.
Yeah, dude.
Imagine you waking up. Who the fuck broke my house? You go in there with a little 9mm. Mm-hmm. You gonna fucking kill a bear with a 9? Oh, hell no.
It's not doing shit to a bear, ladies and gentlemen. That is not doing anything.
You might make it bleed with a 45 or 40.
But it was so dark out there all the time. So then it was like, it would be so dark, like I could not see, like where we are, probably like 5 feet apart. out west at night, it gets so dark.
6 feet's COVID regulation.
COVID. Yeah. Coughing on the microphone.
You're out here coughing and shit, giving me COVID.
All infected, motherfucker.
You're giving me that Cali COVID, man. It's different.
Infected. It's not real anymore, dude.
It's all fake. The government made it up.
We can save that one.
You're gonna get microchipped.
Fuck that, man. I could be chipped right now for all I know. But it would be so dark out there.
Wait, are you vaccinated?
No.
Okay.
Are you?
What you think?
No.
You think I'm some fucking Nazi? Hell no. No. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I'm not.
Oh, the Jews.
Listen, you know I got it, right?
No.
Me and Jory both got it. COVID.
He said, no. Oh, yeah, I knew that. Okay.
We both got COVID. When we both got COVID, he got kind of sick. I did not have a single goddamn symptom.
Yeah.
I get my vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
I get my sunlight to get my vitamin D. You know we love that D. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
I exercise. I do a lot of cardio. I eat decently well.
Pretty good. You're always chefing it up on your stories.
Yeah. You know, I'm a healthy,
that's social media.
young person, okay? There is no need for me to go get that vaccine. And when I'm not an anti-vaxxer, I'm not against vaccines. For me personally, in my experience, I have never gotten a fucking flu shot. I have never gotten the flu.
I have to hop off the mic for a second, people. Allergy season. Got a big old loogie right now. Disgusting.
Well, I'll keep talking because you can still hear me. So, I've never had the flu. I never get sick. I have a good ass fucking immune system because I take care of myself. I get my vitamins. Some people are predisposed to getting sick because they have bad genetics. Other people, on the other hand, it's because they're a little bit obese. Obesity was an absurd comorbidity factor for people who died of COVID. So
well, we can talk about that then, dude.
So is lack of vitamin D, aka lack of fucking sunlight.
We'll bring the obesity back around here in a second.
Listen, man, take care. Because of the fact that I take care of myself, I'm not scared of it. I'm not scared of the flu. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I believe in vaccines. I just believe in vaccines that have been around for a long period of time. The flu vaccine, they make a new one every single year. But it's a pretty damn good system they got going on. But yet, I still don't get the fucking vaccine. Why? Because I believe my body doesn't need help. And I got COVID. I didn't even know I had COVID. I got tested the first time, and I thought it was lying. I thought I got a false positive. So I got tested 3 more fucking times. Mm-hmm. All 4 of my tests came back positive. I was like, there's no way I have fucking COVID. I just ran 7 miles yesterday.
Yeah.
And I didn't even cough. 7 miles. Not even a cough, man. So, yeah,
you just don't
I'm
have
not going to
a
get the vaccine.
Or a purpose, quote unquote purpose to get it. Yeah, you don't need it.
But yet people are telling me that I need to get a vaccine pass. People believe in this vaccine passport. So to be able to go into places, you're going to need to show your vaccine. That is against their constitution.
Bro,
that's some bullshit.
So speaking of that really quick, like back to my trip yet again, with that whole thing, when we were out west and like the West Coast is like very more like, Democrat and like liberal and all that,
yep.
And all that. So nobody's wearing masks out there because they're all vaccinated. So then like all these signs were like, you don't have to wear a mask if you have proof of vaccination. So, like, when we would go into Planet Fitnesses, nobody even asked us, dude. Like, we would have our masks on, but then we would just take them off and then start working out and doing whatever else we were doing. Nobody once ever came up to ask, like, oh, where's your vaccination card and all that shit, because they have, like, sure, if it's a business aspect, they could, but other than that, like, there's no credibility for them to ask you, and apparently that's a violation of your HIPAA laws. Yeah,
well, here's the thing. you know Dr. Seuss, right? I think we all fucking know Dr. Seuss.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the star-bellied Sneetches? When the Sneetches got the stars put on their bellies, and it made them bet. This Dr. Seuss book.
I remember like thing 1 and thing 2
was talking about racism. And the fact that
Sneetches
with the stars on their belly were better than the ones without the stars. And they were allowed to use exclusive things just for the Sneetches that had the stars on their bellies. And by letting private businesses discriminate based on your vaccine status, you're essentially saying these Sneetches with the stars on their bellies can come into our restaurant and eat. These Sneetches without the stars on their bellies cannot. And here's the thing. If someone chose not to get vaccinated, they have made that decision to risk their health, to risk that, and they feel confident or incompetent to make the decision of getting a vaccine. I feel confident in not getting a vaccine because I've already had COVID and I didn't even know I had it. I in fact, my test came back positive and I thought I was fucking lying because I didn't even cough.
Why do I need it when everybody else already has it?
That's
like, that's my motto right now. It's probably why I'm never gonna get it. I got yelled at by my grandpa last night to get it.
Listen, man, it's just a load of bullshit.
So
I don't think you should be forced to get a vaccination to participate in public events.
This is just the era that we live in now. It's sad, dude. Everything's so different. But I'm digging this right now. Podcasts, I don't know, dude. The podcasts are just huge right now. I mean, so it's kind of funny. Like everyone can do one. I don't know why these things were not big before.
Yeah.
But now I guess it's just what goes around comes back around. So I'm digging this right now, but I'm just ready for the whole world to open back up. Like, even when I was in California, like...
Well, here, everything's opened back up. They took away...
Still a lot of shit in L.A. that was shut down.
Oh, L.A., you know... If you look at comparisons of left states versus right-leaning states, like Florida and Texas...
Yeah.
Florida never locked down, really.
They were the only ones that never did.
Yeah, they really never locked down, and they haven't had a mask regulation since last summer.
Dude, I want to go to Florida so bad.
I'm going to Orlando, Florida.
Jealous. He is going
in August.
He is going this summer to Florida. Dude, I'm jealous, man. That's
I'm so
like,
fucking ready, man.
That's next on my list.
Dude, like, they never shut down.
Mm-hmm.
They're in terms of population, they're up there in terms of like total population. But other states that have similar populations had more cases, had more deaths. When they had regulations in place,
and everybody
when
was
they
like,
closed down, when
Florida.
they shut down 300,000 businesses that will never reopen. These are families that have put every dime and dollar they own into their fucking bakeries, into their pizza stores, into their cigarette shops,
little diner that was down
into
the
their
road.
fucking diners.
Yeah.
Into Ganley's pub up the street that is now permanently fucking closed.
Dude, I was about to literally ask you that. Like when I was driving to your house last night, I passed it and I was like,
sold.
It was just vacant. There wasn't anything in
They
there.
shut down. They had to sell.
And
that new owner bought on the 1st of this year. They bought that place. They are now shut down because of COVID regulations kept getting them shut down and capping their capacity of how many people they could have into this high-end pub.
Blew my mind, dude. Like I said,
Don't go out the pub if you don't feel safe.
It was a Saturday night
Right?
too. Like it should be like popping off, you know. Like,
Yep. A Saturday night at 7:30 p.m.
That's like prime time. Like
No one there because they had to shut down.
I had to do a double take. I almost crashed my fucking car trying to look. So
Oh Lord. But like literally like so many businesses shut down forever because of these regulations, closed down so many things. And it's like you can wrap it around. Take that and push it through and then wrap it up again.
It's fine. As long as I'm not looking through the wire, we're good now.
Yeah. But like
Trying to look
literally
through this blue wire still to talk to Nate.
Like states like Texas and Florida did absurdly well in comparison to states like California and other very far left-leaning states, New York, New Jersey, did very well in coordination to those states, saying that they had very, very light regulations compared to what those other states did. Mm-hmm. Like Pennsylvania, we were very moderate in what we had. We had very moderate regulations, and we did pretty bad in terms of other states. Like we were pretty up there for our case counts. Not as bad as Delaware in terms of their population.
Dude,
Delaware's
fuck
really bad.
Delaware. I hate Delaware, honestly. It is a worthless state.
It is. It's really nice to live near it so that we can shop there and not pay
That's all they're good for.
Like taxes on paying shit, but it's not a good state to live in. I would never live there.
Delaware sucks. Nebraska sucks. Iowa sucks. Like I know where I would want to live and where I don't want to live. That's for damn sure. I don't know how people could build a life in
Nebraska. About Texas, man.
And if any of you people in Nebraska are out here listening to us, I hope you're happy driving around on your tractors and doing fucking corn stalks because that's all your life is gonna be.
Listen, Nebraska, their college is the Cornhuskers, man. That's their mascot, the Cornhuskers.
Just blows my mind, dude.
But
what do you think
about Texas, man?
Dude, Texas, honestly, it's lit. It's hot as fuck.
Listen, is the whole gang gonna save up money? We're all moving to Texas together. Is that the move?
We should move to the desert.
I'll move to fucking Texas, man.
The desert was lit. Like Utah, Arizona, New Mexico all look the same. It's just whether you want Mormons or Mexicans. Like that's what it is. So
You're
the
cracking me up, man.
Utah was awesome there. 35,000 miles of straight pure desert. Rip around on dune buggies, four wheelers, razors, like full on cars. Like if you really want to shoot guns, dude, you can buy Terramite at Dick's Sporting Goods. For all you don't know that are listening, Terramite is
That's just kind of deadly.
a legal explosive. You can go and buy it in Dick's Sporting Goods out in Utah and just go out in the desert and drive around and blow shit up. Literally, that's what you can do.
That shit's lit, dude.
Like, I could get down in the desert, man.
Give me your your near-death stories. I want to hear them.
All right,
I'm ready for 'em.
so when I was in Colorado, we were in Aurora, Colorado, and so when we were doing our trip across the country, like Planet Fitness was like always a quote-unquote safe spot that you could sleep because they're 24 hours, and then you can work out, use the bathroom, shower, and do all that. So little did I know, we come back from dinner, dude. I was so hungry. I had like a full like 4-course meal, dude. I wolfed everything down. Had this big old food baby in me, dude. I was just ready to go to sleep. I'm laying down in my car. It's about like 12:30 at night. And so I'm like in and out of sleep. And then I wake up and I'm like, why do I feel elevated right now? I feel like I'm elevated for some reason. So I had to like sit up and turn around and look at the front of my car. The front of my car is up in the fucking air, dude. I'm hooked up to a tow truck. I had to like do a double take because I was like so like in and out of consciousness because I was asleep. And I was like, dude, I'm being towed right now. And I'm in the car.
You should have laid up. Did you lay on the horn? What did you do?
Dude, I was. So I was in the car. They didn't even know I was in the car. That was that was fucked up part, dude. They start wheeling me out, man. I'm in the car, up in the air, being towed, going down the road in the car. And so I'm like panicking, dude, because in my mind I had no reason to be towed because Planet Fitness was like a quote-unquote safe zone. And so I thought I was getting hit by like a Colorado mob or some shit. It was just out of nowhere. Just boom, lifted up in the air, being towed out of the parking lot. I'm like panicking, man, trying to like call 911. Like I'm thinking I'm going to die. Really.
You called 911?
I was getting ready to. And then I was like, dude, what's the point? Because I don't know where I am. They don't know where I am. By the time they show up, I'm going to be dead anyways. Like, we're seriously injured. So, I was butt-ass naked, too, dude. I love sleeping naked. It's awesome. So, I'm trying to put all my clothes on. Gave up on the 911. Grabbed the keys to my car. Thank God the keys were still close by. And I'm blasting the horn off the key fob in the car. Finally going off. They towed me like 4 blocks down the road around the backside of the Planet Fitness into this sketchy alleyway.
Oh, fuck. You thought you were dead, huh?
I thought I was going to die, dude.
You thought you were fucked.
And then they finally stopped because they heard the car alarm going off. They get out. They have all these big, like, police-issued flashlights and tasers and shit, 2 guys. And they're shining the flashlights in the car. And I'm up against the window. And they're like, dude, there's somebody in the car. And then they start screaming and yelling at me. They're like, get out of the fucking car. Get out of the fucking car. Like, get out of the motherfucking car. And I'm like, dude, should I get out of the car? Because I'm probably going to fucking die now, that's for sure. Or do I stay in the car? But I'm already jacked up in the air anyways. And then so there were 2 tow truck drivers. And then the worst part, too, was there was another car that was following me. So there was a 3rd guy. No idea why he was even there.
Oh, fuck.
So it was like the tow truck, me hooked up inside my car, up in the air.
Fuck, what happened?
And then this other SUV following me behind the tow truck. And then so I get out of the car, and there were 3 guys, and I was like, dude, like, this is it. Like, this is where I'm going to die. I'm, like, sizing them all up. I'm like, I was like, I can probably take 2 of them, but then I don't know about this 3rd guy.
You're a big dude. You're a big dude. Just to preface that for anyone watching.
That are listening here, I'm 6'3" and like basically like 220 pounds, like, so big ass man over here. But I thought I could take like 2 of them, but then that 3rd guy that was just lurking around, I was like, dude, I'm just 1 guy versus 3 people. Like, I'm probably not gonna win, honestly. Yeah. No matter how big you are, intimidating or whatever. So I get out of the car and I'm like, yo, like, what's the big deal? And he's like, you know, like, why were you there? And I was like, well, I was on a road trip, like, me and my buddy. And they're like, are you with the guy in the blue van? And I was like, yeah. So thank God I said that because they would have went back and towed his ass. I was like, yeah, he's with me. And they're like, all right, well, like, you can't be parking here. And I was like, well, Planet Fitnesses are like 24 hours. Like,
Did you
well,
say that you had a
yeah,
membership?
yeah, and all that. And they're like, oh, well, apparently this is like a private parking lot. And I was just like, dude, that's total bullshit. Like, because even if somebody was there working out, that's 24 hours. Like,
Yeah.
say you're working out at 3 o'clock in the morning, then you come out, where's your car?
Yeah, and
Like,
they tow your fucking car. Like,
yeah. So
yeah.
how do they know whether you were in there or not?
Yeah,
in
and they
there?
didn't know you were in there.
Yeah. So, they just came up. Literally, they just came up with some bullshit reason, just trying to say that that parking lot was like private somehow, even though Planet Fitness is a public facility and all that. So, but there was nothing that I could do because, like, even if I like did miraculously like beat up all three of those guys, I don't know how to drop my car off of a tow truck. I don't get towed. Like, so I had to pay $70 to get my car off the tow jack.
Oh, they finessed you. I would have called 911.
Yeah, so
I would have called 911 because that's illegal. They cannot. There ain't no way that they're allowed to tow a car when you're fucking it. I would bet. I mean, like, I don't know if we got no fucking lawyers listening to this shit.
I didn't know any of that now at the time. There's nothing that I can do about it.
Yeah, no,
now.
yeah, you're in the moment. You're like, let me just get the fuck out of here.
and
Like, I'm sketched.
What's done is done now, but it was weird, dude. So I had to pay $70 to get my car dropped, and then they told me like where to park somewhere else. So then we went and did that, but it was at least it was better than me being asleep and then waking up in the tow lot, and then I got to pay like $300 to get out of that, and I got a boot on my car tire. So I just think it was a bullshit hack job, private towing session that saw a car with Pennsylvania tags on it that was in the state of Colorado after midnight on whatever day of the week that was. So I think
that's still some bullshit though. Like I want to know the legality of that. Like, I feel like that's probably legal to tow a car with someone else.
I wasn't even really comprehending what they were saying because I was like still like
yeah,
half
you just
asleep,
fucking
dude.
woke up and you're looking at three guys.
Thought I was
think
gonna
you're gonna fucking
die,
kill you.
and thought I was gonna die. So I was not. I was just trying to get my car unhooked and get out of there safe and sound. Like,
yeah, and with that outlook, fucking $70 seems cheap.
so
Yeah, what about the other time? You said there's another time. And then you get UFOs too?
we could have got abducted by aliens, man. That shit was crazy. So when we were in,
Hold up. What time did you say you have to leave at? 4?
yeah.
All right.
What time we got now?
We're at 3:27.
Damn, dude, I don't want to go anywhere. This shit's lit. I really don't.
Listen, just keep going your stories, bro.
God,
I'll
it
make
is
sure you're out of here before.
Father's Day, so always got to be the fucking delivery boy out here and bring food home from
Bring
the
the
family.
fucking pizza, man. I'm gonna be lonely, and no one's gonna be here. You're gonna leave, and I'm gonna be all fucking alone.
Dude, you just pause this shit and bring it back around again.
Dude, we'll just do another episode next time, bro. Because I mean, we started this. We're at an hour 48. So give it another 30 minutes. We'll be at 2 hours and 15 minutes. That'll be a good first episode. You know.
Mm-hmm. And we can really get into the detail from the trip and all that next time, like spot to spot and all that.
Oh yeah.
This can just be a nice, brief, good opening intro.
Yeah, him with the details of the UFOs and the.
Yeah. So back to the alien shit.
Because you said there's a story from that night you never told me. I think there's a story from the UFO night that you never told me or something like that. When the night that the UFOs happened, I called you. We talked on the phone, and I was like, "Yo," and you said, "There's a story. I gotta say."
Maybe there was something. I mean, I'll just say it all now, and it'll probably. I mean, it doesn't matter now, but I definitely saved it all. So we were outside in the desert yet again, like outside of Salt Lake City. So in like the northern part of Utah, and so I was completely sober. Like there was nothing in my system at all. I walk around the back of my car to take a pee because we were looking at the stars at night. And so I'm sitting there and I'm taking a piss and I'm looking straight ahead like where the skyline was. And so from the skyline, I started seeing all these little stars, like blinking little stars, start coming out from the skyline at a 45-degree angle, like all coming out like this, one after the other after the other. I saw about 50 of them, like give or take another 20 after that. And they were all... It was like literally, they were perfectly synchronized. Like that's just the way I would describe it. Just same distance apart, same speed, everything. There was this one spot in the sky. As soon as the first little flashing light hit it, it just disappeared. Like it like faded away. Like it was shooting into like deeper space or something like that. And then every single little flickering light after that did the same thing. As soon as it hit that spot, gone. Until all of them came out of the skyline and hit that last spot and disappeared. And this was all in a span of about 10 seconds. 10, 15 seconds tops, I would say. The craziest part was we were trying to record it on our phone, but to the phone it was staticky and blurry, and you really could not see anything.
Yeah.
But then, to the human naked eye, clear as day.
Yeah.
Clear as day.
And then you sent me some Twitter videos
so then
of celebrities that took videos of the same shit that you just described.
Yeah. So what I just described to you, like Joe Rogan was on it, like Sugar Sean tweeted too. He like literally exactly what I just described, because we didn't know if anybody else saw it or not, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then on Twitter, blew up the next day, and they were like, I'm 100% convinced I just saw a fleet of UFOs. And then, of course, everyone's like, oh, it was Elon Musk's Starship and all that. No, it wasn't. And fuck you, Elon Musk, by the way. Like, you're an asshole.
What you got against Elon Musk?
Dude, he traded around that whole Bitcoin thing or Dogecoin shit, and, like, people just lost a ton of money.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't say that's directly because of him. He's definitely involved in the memes of it, but I don't think he's direct cause of losing people money.
He's a scammer. I don't really like him. We can get into that one later when I have some more backdrop.
Okay. I'm a fan of him.
I like the guy, but I don't like the guy. So
the shit he's doing, I think, is innovative.
That's cool, but they were just trying to all say it was his Starship or some SpaceX thing that he was doing, and the way that it happened and the way that it went down and as fast as it happened, that was not his SpaceX thing. That really wasn't. And the craziest part, too, was as well, like I told my brother about it, and he said like 3 weeks ago, CNN just released like newly leaked alien footage. So from the Pentagon and the Navy got like satellite images.
Yep, they had a lot of weird naval ships.
Yeah, from this green little triangle guy. So 3 weeks later, here am I, you know, in the desert in Utah, and I see some stuff. So I mean, dude, they could have been there, like, listening to us the whole entire time, for all that we know.
Yeah.
So, I am 100% convinced we are not alone, dude. We are not.
Damn.
If anything, aliens have just, maybe they're here, maybe they're not here right now, or they've flown over us, dude.
They're going to listen to our fucking podcast
They could be right now. Our planet is so fucked up.
Maybe they're in the fucking coal room.
Dude, they could. They could.
What if a little fucking alien just waddles way out of her fucking coal room right now, dude?
Don't know too. We're in this house from like the 1920s. It's definitely haunted.
This house is 101 years old this year.
Boiler room in here.
So it's a coal room. They used to dump coal in that room.
I say it's like the type of room that you could like get some fucking chains in there, and like when they say, you know, they got people chained up in their basement, like just
that's the room we're doing.
Just stereotype that and just think of that, and that's what this room looks like.
Yeah, dude. It was a fucking scary ass room, man. And if you're like Chris, who slept in the fucking futon once down here, and he woke up, he said, "Thanks for leaving the fucking room, the coal room light on for me." And I said, "Chris, all the lights work on the same switch, man.
Yeah,
you can't just turn on one of the lights, bro."
Again,
and he said, "Yeah, you can. Go down and look." We all walked down there. All the fucking lights are off. There's no coal room light. He's like, "Oh fuck, I ain't coming back, man." This motherfucker flew right back to Florida. He ain't come back since.
Go on, dude. If all else fails, flee to Florida. Don't come back. Florida is a safe zone.
He's gonna bring us out there. We're gonna get fucked up.
Dude,
should I rent a Lamborghini?
I'm trying to get out on a boat, man. That's what I really want to do that this summer. It's one thing I never did this summer. Listen, I never made it.
I'm gonna keep going down there and going fishing. I'm gonna keep going to the paintball events down here, right? The paintball field that we went to yesterday. I'm trying to make some friends. I'll let you know if they got a boat.
Pontoon.
One of those pontoon boats?
Yeah, speaking a little gibberish here. I had way too much vodka last night, but we're good.
Brian's still running on.
We're good. We're good today. That's for sure. But, you know, I'm not perfect. I don't pride myself on being perfect. But to get out on a pontoon boat, have some beverages.
Get like a nice little Budweiser hat, a Heineken hat, you know.
Get some honeys out there, some birds and beverages.
I like the sound.
Birds and beverages, baby. It's all good.
Dude, I went to the paintball field yesterday, and I connected with these people so. That's why I wanted to go back today, but it just really wasn't feasible.
Mm-hmm.
Since they close at 4. But I want to go back there and make some good friends there, and like get some nice friends in the area. Because one of my paintball buddies, he actually lives like 10 minutes away from us. He's a police officer up in the area.
Yeah.
Cool dude. I like the world's biggest paintball event coming up, dude. I'm fucking hyped for it, dude. I went. You ready for this? We played around a speedball. You know what speedball is? You familiar? Yeah, so we were 7v7 speedball. There's just small inflatable obstacles, very few of them.
Yeah.
And they're very strategically placed. In the first 12 seconds of the game.
Oh, you told me this yesterday. You lit up.
I got all 7 players in less than 12 seconds. Okay? There's 2 spiral. So this was like it was kind of a woods ball speedball field. So they had big like spiral spools that have normally have copper wire around them that are empty. Use them as each home base. So you start with your gun. Everyone starts with a marker touching it. Then you break off. There was one other really really talented like speedball player on the other team. Besides the rest of that, they were all like average players. You know, some of them.
This guy's a pro, ladies and gentlemen. He knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Hey, listen, we're sponsored. We're sponsored, man.
Apex Predator out here.
That's a real team. Predator. Team Predator.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's a god amongst men.
I'm on a team called M80, and then we're on a smaller team called Team Scorcher after that.
Mm-hmm.
But we run all the way up and down the East Coast. But so there's only really like 1, maybe 2 really talented players on the other team.
Yeah.
Besides that, everyone else was like half. You know, just
average.
we'll say half was normal people using rental guns, which are not very good.
So just mediocre, like below average.
I would say very below average. Yeah. They're not. I wouldn't call them paintball players. They're people who came to play paintball.
Just tourists.
Yeah. They're people who came there to have fun.
Yeah.
And play paintball for maybe their first, second, third time. And the other half of the team were actual players who played on a regular basis. Most of them had their own guns, but they weren't like speedball, like sport professional players.
Yeah, like they took it very, very seriously, obviously, you know.
Yeah, but they had 2 players that took it really fucking serious. And I take it pretty seriously as well myself, saying on teams, we're sponsored, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I take it pretty damn serious. I'm pretty damn good. And I immediately break left. Both of the other guys from their team, the talented guys, both break left. I immediately, since I knew no one else on my team, no one on my team was a regular player. They were all rental guns. Every single one of us was rental guns.
Yeah.
So they can go boom, boom, boom. You saw my marker yesterday. He goes,
this guy's
I ring
gone.
him off, bro.
This guy's gone. He literally let me shoot it. Now I want to go and play paintball. Never played in my life. Literally, I'm holding his gun. I'm just finger tapping the thing. It's so sensitive. It's like,
yeah.
I could shoot the thing faster just finger tapping it than putting it in fully automatic mode. Like, that
I
thing was
immediately
fucking
break
ridiculous.
left. And they immediately break right, both of them. The rest of their players were sticking their guns to the little holes in the spool, trying to shoot and hugged the spool, basically. All stayed behind the original spot. Now, game of paintball is a game of angles and firepower. Mm-hmm. The more balls per second you can throw downfield.
He's got the firepower.
And the angles. So I immediately break left and I start sprinting. Instantly hit both those guys on break, which was the most crucial part of that game. Hitting the 2 talented players, because they were the only ones who moved. The other guys, everyone else sat, the other 5 players sat behind the spool. So I instantly just kept running left, getting like a wider and wider angle on them. And just the entire time, I couldn't even see them at this point. Just the entire time, because I know eventually, if any of them peek out, they're instantly going to get hit.
Yeah, they got to move.
Either they're going to pop out and they're instantly going to get hit, or I'm going to keep moving and eventually I'm going to be able to see them and they're just going to instantly get hit. So the entire time I probably sprayed down 200 rounds downfield in 12 seconds. Just like hit every single player. I felt so bad. There was this mom in the front and she went like this, and she, instead of moving out of the way, she just went like this. I pelted the fuck out of her. I hit her maybe like 20 times, dude.
You shot up a mom.
I put balls on someone's mom's face. Okay? Someone's mom was catching my nuts. Okay? She was catching balls. And I lit them the fuck up. I lit up Lydia. She's a real bad fucking welt on her leg.
Yeah.
Because she stood there too, man. And it's like, there are people behind her. I had to keep shooting. I got all 7 players. I'm waiting for them to post a video on their Facebook page, man. That's a highlight reel for me. And then we do another game.
I want to see this.
They have a woods ball field, so it's like shipping crates with holes with windows cut out in them, and like some weird like pallet obstacles in the middle. It was capture the flag. The flag's in the middle. I get up to the flag. It was 6v6. I eliminated 4 players already. Okay, I eliminated 3 players. Someone else on my team eliminated someone else. So there's 2 guys left. They're sitting in the spawn shipping crate, and I'm at the flag. I can grab the flag and run back, end the game. And I say, ref, can I play elimination? And he goes, what? And I said, okay. Because he didn't answer. So he said, what? I said, okay. So I went for elimination. So I started spraying at the container where they were, at the windows they were in, so that they hid behind cover. I use that time when they're not looking, now they're hiding, to move up. I moved up and went up against the shipping crate. And I popped my head in the window. Brr, brr, fucking railed both of them. And I felt bad. I felt bad because they were amateur players. They weren't talented at all.
You just took them out, just showed them who the man was.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, everyone's real nervous and plays real scared and doesn't like to move a lot and is scared to get shot.
You got to be aggressive, so.
Yeah, well, they're all scared to get shot until they get shot. Once you get shot, you're like, okay, it's not that bad.
Now I know what it feels like.
Yeah. The nerves break. The second Lydia got shot, she started leaving. At first, the first game, she did not leave the spawn shipping crate she was in. She stayed in there the whole time. The second after she got hit, she started moving. She started running around. Yeah. She was having fun. She had a blast until she went to speedball. And that makes sense because regular people are not meant to play speedball. It's meant for competitive paintball. It's a sport. You know, it's not as much for fun. Unless you're a super competitive person, it's not for fun no more. So she was much more a fan of the woods ball field with the shipping crates and pallets and stuff like that. But the second she got shot, she came out. And I was like, it's the same thing with these guys. The second they get shot, they'll be comfortable. They'll start leaving small. And that's what happened. And, the ref said, hey, listen, that was fucking badass as fuck. And they all four of the refs came up fist bumped me, so that was good shit. And I eliminated 5 to 6 players myself. And I was the only one doing shit. I moved up that field. I ended that game in like 30, 40 seconds.
Quick, dude.
It's fun for a couple, to get myself warm, to get myself hyped, gassed up. But the second we started having some speedball only field games, so it was only skilled players, only speedball players on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, I got maybe 1-2 guys every single time, and then I got hit. That's the thing. When you're playing real against talented players, you shouldn't be getting the whole team.
Different leagues.
Like that just means you're better than everyone else you're playing against.
Let me get warmed up. Warm-up round, shoot up some average people, then I'll actually go and start playing. No, you're good. I might have to finally take a pee break in here now as well.
Well, listen, we're at 342.
Well, we can buckle this thing up, I guess, then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We had a great first episode.
This was fire, honestly. This is my first time being on the podcast.
I was going to cheers to you, but we're out.
I think I still got a little Coke in here from the other day, so I got my red Solo cup here, but cheers, man.
Cheers to the mic, cheers to the camera.
Cheers
Thank you all for listening. We really appreciate you guys. It was a great first podcast, and there's gonna be more to come. I don't know how often I want to get someone every weekend.
Dude, I could still pump out at least 10 more episodes. Nice little intro here. Still have a lot more to talk about from my trip, but just from basic backdrop and get this thing warmed up and figure out how it all goes. I would say overall it was a great success. This episode was fucking fire.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you guys are listening, you guys are obviously already found us. But we'll be on SoundCloud, we'll be on Spotify, we'll be on iTunes, we'll be on YouTube. Those are the 4 major outlets you can find us on. Tell your friends. You obviously found us somewhere, so, share us.
Friends, family, loved ones.
Go ahead. I'm sure I'll have an email CC'd in below. You can just fucking send us a story. Maybe we'll read out a fucking funny-ass story if you got a good-ass story. If it's dog shit, fuck you. We're not reading it. But, yeah, it was a good episode, man. It was a really good I enjoyed it. I love it. Just long-form conversation, man. It's so hard to get nowadays.
Yeah.
Without phones, without people interrupting, without shit to do.
We brought that all around, so just better to do
it's great. We've been here for 2 hours, man.
Doesn't feel like it. I'm supposed to go home for Father's Day soon. I honestly don't want to leave. I could talk here for another 2 hours.
Listen, man, you're welcome back. We'll do something. I think we're doing. We tell the plan for the next party. The next party we throw here, the next banger. No phones. All phones are getting locked away. We're throwing them in the safe.
Yeah.
No phones the second you walk in the door. We're taking all your phones.
Yo, let's get these out once a week. Pop out once a week.
So we're saying snippets. Send out the text you need, make the calls you need to make before your phone gets locked away. After that, your phone gets locked away. You're not touching it again for the rest of the night. And we're giving out four depending on how many people there are, like 2, 3, 4 disposable cameras. That's the shit that is only gonna get passed around night, dude. The amount of dicks that are gonna get their picture taken, you know what I mean? I'm taking a picture of my dick.
This guy is very sexual over here, very sexual.
Dude, listen, man, I'll take a picture of my asshole with that disposable camera, and I just want to wait for Jordan to develop it and see my asshole.
Nice hairy taint.
Yeah, nice hairy fucking taint, dude. You know how it is. Yeah, but it's been a good episode, man.
It was great.
I appreciate it. I love conversation. You know, you fucking, before you went on your road trip, you were here every fucking weekend, man.
Yeah.
You're always welcome
I'm
here, bro.
So, no,
You got your bed upstairs, man. We got you locked down.
it's good. It's good to be back. Good to be back home, and we'll get into more of my trip next time. And just thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it. So until the next one, very soon.
Hell yeah, peace out. Well, guys, that was Jacob Hess. I appreciate him. I appreciate you guys for listening. And, yeah, share the podcast with your friends. And, you know, what the fuck is this?